Oh, it's going to be a good one tonight. One of the best venues in college football. Big Ten Saturday on Peacock, presented by Geico. Autzen Stadium, Eugene, Oregon. The 7th-ranked Ducks and the Boise State Broncos out of the Mountain West on a hot and hazy and humid night. We could be lighting up the scoreboard here as well. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending your Saturday evening with us. That is Michael Robinson. I'm Andrew Siciliano. Laura Britt is down on the sideline. She will join us shortly. And Rob, it is hard to understate the significance of this game. Now with the 12-team playoff, there is a clear path for a group of 5 team into the postseason. If Boise State can win this here tonight in Autzen, they're likely ranked next week, and they have a path. Meantime, Oregon fell from 3 to 7 last week with a less than convincing win over Idaho. They're looking to the mirror, and they're looking for a better performance tonight. We have 2 legit Heisman Trophy candidates. Tell me about Dillon Gabriel up first.
Oh, man, Dillon Gabriel, he's one of the most decorated passers in college football history. He's very efficient. He's explosive, and what teams are doing, they're not allowing the big explosive pass over the top. So he has to do a great job of continuing to take what the defense gives him. If he can take what the defense gives him, I think the Oregon offense will have a good night.
41-49 last week, but they need more explosives. You want to talk about explosives? How about Ashton Genty? Is 267 and 6 touchdowns good?
Oh, it's great, man. I thought it was video game numbers. I had to do a double take when I saw that this kid averaged over 13 yards per carry last week. He is everything for this Boise State offense, and quite frankly, he has to be the best player on the football field for the Boise State Broncos to have a chance tonight.
It is loud in here. This is a big one. Autzen Stadium, Big Ten Saturday. It's going to be fun. Boise State, 3-0 lifetime against Oregon. Never lost. But the Broncos have never beaten a Big Ten team. Kickoff next.
The following is a presentation of the Big Ten Conference.
Sun's going to go down in about a half hour here at Autzen Stadium. Hot and hazy as mentioned. Temps hit 100 a couple of days ago. Right now, kickoff, 80 degrees. Heat index a little bit higher. Air quality not so great. Who is great, however? Laura Britt down at the sideline. Hi, Laura.
Hey, Andrew, keep an eye tonight on the offensive line. The Ducks' offensive line struggled in week 1 against Idaho. Quarterback Dillon Gabriel was sacked 3 times. For comparison's sake, all of the the past 2 seasons, the Ducks led the nation in fewest sacks allowed, just 10 total. The offensive line issues could stem from 2 notable departures. Jackson Powers-Johnson, the former Ducks center, was drafted by the Raiders, and former Ducks right guard Stephen Jones also departed for the NFL. The Oregon offensive line accounted for 5 of the Ducks' 8 penalties in week 1. Offensive coordinator Will Stein told me a major point of emphasis this week has been eliminating negative plays, Andrew.
All right, negative plays, want more explosives. Got to get the right side of that O-line fixed up for Dan Lanning here, who said that the results were okay, needs a better process from his team. And Rob, Spencer Danielson here knows his team has to play better than how it did against Georgia Southern. They got to win. They need to step it up here tonight if they want to knock off the Ducks.
Definitely have to win, and this is going to be a line of scrimmage game on both sides of the football. Whoever moves that line of scrimmage gets the early advantage.
Here we go. Autzen Stadium, Boise State kick it off, and we are underway with a touchback. Noah Whittington, ball over his head, and we get our first look now at the Oregon Ducks and our Papa John's starting lineups here. They're delivered to you by Papa John's. We mentioned Dylan Gabriel here. A 6th-year senior came over from Oklahoma. The lefty has James in the backfield. Tez Johnson, who had a huge game a week ago, his #1 target.
Yeah, Tez Johnson, he is a walking completion. We talked about in the open, Dylan Gabriel, one of the most efficient passers in college football history. If he can continue to take what defenses are starting to give him, that's how he can open up the explosives downfield.
That open up with James in the backfield, and he's going to get a carry. He's going to break a tackle, and this is a good start here on the ground. Lanning said he wants 5.5 yards a carry. Last week, only 2.9. This is a good start. Out to the 32, a gain of 7.
Yeah, great start by this Oregon offense. You see Dylan Gabriel right there. A very efficient game last week, 41 of 49, almost 400 yards. But one of the things that I saw, he did not turn the football over. Again, protecting the football, giving the offense a chance.
And finding room and time to take shots downfield. Look out! Hassani takes him down! Ahmed Hassani with another sack. He's the guy that you always have to account for, and the second play of the game, he takes down Gabriel.
Second play of the game. You're going to love this kid right here. He is high energy. You can see the left tackle kind of falls down. Ahmed getting to Dylan Gabriel. This defense wants some success. He's going to have a big day.
Josh Connerly, the left tackle here. Gabriel gets this one away. Complete. Trayshawn Holden after the loss of 7 on that sack. There is a flag, however, down on this one on a 3rd and 9 on the far sideline. Our referee tonight is Chris Coit.
5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Jaden Virgin Morgan, number 5, the sophomore out of San Diego, offsides.
Yeah, a little bit of offsides action right there, but good poise by Dylan Gabriel and this entire Oregon Ducks offense, staying with it, still running through the play in case the call was against them.
So 3rd down again, but 3rd down and more manageable 3rd and 3. Got to get to the 35. Gabriel, pocket collapsing, rolling out to the left, eyes downfield. Gabriel makes a move and he gets tripped up. And the Boise defense is going to get off the field. Shea Oladipo makes the play.
Yeah, Shea Oladipo made the play. Alexander Tubner was there on the play as well. But this is one thing you did not see from Dylan Gabriel last week. At least not much of it, was him using his legs, scrambling, even though there was some run lanes. It's a good job by this Boise State defense.
Good job of the Boise State defense here getting off the field. And Ross James is now out to punt. And the return here, Latrell Capel standing at the 20.
This kid's fearless. If he has some room, be careful.
Capel's big game a week ago. It's a low-line drive kick. He comes up, takes it on the run, 35-40. Capel's tripping, but staying on his feet and taking it across midfield. So great field position here to start things off for the Broncos.
Yeah, and look at the excitement. Latrell's, he's pumped up right there. Tackle at a long snapper Basso right there. Let's see this return. First of all, running forward, this is a pretty scary position for a punt returner. But like I said, this kid's fearless. If he didn't get tripped up right there, he may have had more room to run. Good job.
A 17-yard return for Latrell Caples gives the Boise State Broncos great field position, starting in plus territory, the 49-yard line. As we see for the first time today, Maddox Madsen, who won that job in camp, beating out Malachi Nelson. Sire Gaines, the 17-year-old freshman in the backfield. He's going to get the first carry. He had 100 yards as well last week, not to mention the 200 we saw from Ashton Jeanty, who often lines up wide at wide receiver. Starting lineups now delivered by Papa John's. We mentioned the quarterback, Dirk Cutter, pounded the table this week for his guy, Madsen. Some people thought it could have been Nelson. Madsen won the job and proved he deserved it last week.
And he won the job right out. We talked to the coaching staff this week, and he said everybody in this building knows who the starting quarterback is. It's number 4. It's Maddox Madsen.
Now with Jeanty in the backfield. First time we see him today. Ashton Jeanty picks up a couple of yards to the 41 to set up 3rd and 2. Mike Robb, as a former running back, it's hard to tone down the enthusiasm and the hype for this guy.
Yeah, very hard to tone down the enthusiasm. We got an injured Bronco player down, looks like an offensive lineman. This kid, Ashton Jeanty, he is a franchise running back.
Time out of the field. We'll check on the injured Bronco when we get back. Early on, 11:46 to go first quarter. We are scoreless at Autzen. Second play from scrimmage here for the Boise State Broncos. That is the right guard, Michael Robinson, Roger Carrion. The card is out.
Yeah, it's a tough play right here. Here's Roger right there. Effort play, just going around. See the left ankle right there. Just get rolled up on.
Tough scene here. Tatum Tuioti fell on that left ankle. Boise State already banged up on the offensive line. The center, Mason Randolph, with a biceps injury. He is not playing today. In his place, Zach Holmes, the Oregon native, is playing center. Spencer Danielson, out the head coach of the Broncos, to check on Roger Carrion, his teammates as well.
Yeah, it's a big deal. You never want to see anything like that happen to one of your teammates, but you know the entire team is coming out. The first player to come out was Ashton Jeanty to say what's up to his offensive lineman. You never want to see anything like this happen.
It is a tough scene here right out of the gate. Roger Carrion, a redshirt sophomore out of New Mexico. The interior of this offensive line, a huge reason for the success of this Boise State run game. And now they are down 2 starters, both center and right guard. As we are back to action early on, a couple of minutes in, no score, 3rd and 2. After a great punt return by Latrell Caples. Boise State Broncos 3-0 against the Oregon Ducks. All time.
Let's see how big that injury is, Andrew. This is a gap scheme offense in the run game. A lot of pullers from the guard position.
With Ashton Jeanty getting around right end, getting the first down. He can break tackles. He gets to the outside and gets the first to the 25. Gain of 17.
Ashton Jeanty, I want all of young running backs across the country to watch this young man run the football. Here he is just going to take the ball and it bounces. But watch how he uses his stiff arm. Watch how he uses the tools that he has in his tool bag as he circles the defense, gets around the edge, and he's a tough kid to bring down on the secondary. Good run.
And Jeanty takes it to the 24. As they're going to operate out of the pistol, give it to Jeanty again. Penetration to the backfield. He runs right by it and takes it to the 20. You talked about his contact balance. You talked about his ability to break tackles. Last week, Emrod, Jeanty had 161 yards after initial contact.
That's crazy. I mean, and really his contact balance, you can see it here. Unblocked guy in the backfield. He still gets through and gets to the second level, but just look at that. Just go around me. He's not even concerned about the defensive lineman. And again, falling forward, a staple of a big-time running back.
Right around Derek Harmon, the big Michigan State transfers. Now it looks as if the Broncos are going to back up movement on the right side of that offensive line.
Offense, number 65, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
The right tackle, Hall Schmidt, the sophomore out of Gig Harbor, Washington, and they're backing up 5.
Yeah, he's a little excited on that play right there. Offensive lineman, Andrew, when you're running the football and you know you have a big-time running back behind you, you get excited to put hands on defensive linemen.
Jeanty in the backfield. You got Marshall and Caples to the right. The tight end Lauder standing up to the right as well, as they're going to throw it left. Setting up the screen. Nowhere to go. Marshall ripped out of the 27. Big number 95, Keon Ware Hudson over there. And it's 3rd and long.
Keon Ware Hudson in on the tackle. Brandon Johnson again also there and on the tackle. Just a little wide receiver screen, but just Oregon defense in its attacking nature playing downhill, hitting everything moving.
Brandon Johnson had a pick a week ago on 3rd down. Ball into the end zone. Knocked down. Incomplete. It was in the hands there of number 9, Cameron Camper, at 99 yards a week ago. He could not bring it down. Nico Reed, who had a pick a week ago on the coverage.
Yeah, Cam Camper just couldn't hang on to this one. I love how he attacks the football while it's in the air, and it just goes off of his hands right there. I know Cam wishes he had this one back. University of Indiana transfer, trying to make plays for this Broncos offense.
Jonah Dalmas now in for a 43-yard field goal try. Dalmas' kick is up and good. And Boise State is on the board first. Great punt return, great field position. And 3 points. Spencer Danielson's Broncos the early lead over number 7 Oregon here at Austin. Saturday, brought to you by Geico. Get more with Geico. By Genesis Motor America. Learn more at genesis.com. And by TikTok. Get into it on TikTok. We're into what we hope is a pretty good one here. Boise State, after the Joe Dalmas field goal, leads number 7 Oregon 3-0 here. Michael Robinson, Andrew Siciliano, lower Britt down on the sideline here as Boise State benefit a great field position, started in plus territory and got 3 out of it. There's the man who hit the field goal, Joe Dalmas, set to kick off.
One thing about this Boise State team, the environment, this game is not too big for them. They came out fired up.
All right, so we got another touchback there over the head of Whittington. And we're going to see here what happened during the break. This is Peyton Pritchard, Boston Celtic, just won an NBA championship. He's an Oregon native. He was the 2020 Pac-12 Player of the Year playing basketball here for the Ducks. And a big ovation here for, fair to call him, local legend, Peyton Pritchard.
It's pretty cool, Andrew. You know, back in your hometown, back in Virginia, they don't honor you like that.
They do not, and Rob, I'm sure in Richmond, however, they do for you. Second possession here for Dylan Gabriel and the Ducks, and they open on the ground by running right up the middle to Jordan James, who bounces off the tackle, and then James looked like he had a clear angle around the left side, but couldn't stay on his feet.
Yeah, you see Jordan James right there again. One thing I said at the beginning of this game, looking at the line of scrimmage and seeing if these double teams from this Oregon offense gets to the second level, you see right there just the Boise State defensive line being very stout and tackling in space.
Please reset.
So really good tackle right there.
Number 7, Marion
9 minutes,
McCoy.
20 seconds. There is no snap. Thank you. The
Official.
clock will start on my signal.
Official Chris Coit there trying to reset the clock. Oregon snapped it. He took that ball back and said there is no snap. So they reset the clock here with 9:20 to go. First quarter early on. Broncos on top of the Ducks 3-0.
This Oregon offense, see if he can continue to be patient. Again, take what this Boise State defense gives them.
Trayshawn Holden, bottom of the screen there, wearing number 1. The give to James, who gets hit immediately by Andrew Simpson, but spins forward and gets close to a first down. Eventually brought down by the big defensive lineman, Sheldon Newton, who wore 94 a year ago. One of that single number earned it and made the stop wearing number 9.
Yeah, they said it. That number 9 was very important to Sheldon Newton. They surprised him this offseason. Get the single digit. You see big fella right there. That's a large 9 right there, Andrew.
It is third down. Big for this Boise State defense last week. They were not good. They were able to get off the field with a 3-and-out first possession. Not able to do it here. As it's caught by the transfer, Evan Stewart. Actually, he's going to be out of bounds about a yard short. So it is 4th down. And let's see what Dan Lanning decides to do. The offense right now is staying on the field. He's about a half-yard short, if that, Emrod.
Wow, let's see what this offensive line, if this offensive line can move this Boise State defensive line a yard or 2. Or if you put it in your quarterback's hands, Dylan Gabriel's hands. He's seen it all. Very efficient passer. Completed over 80% of his passes last week. Let's see what they do.
All right, from under center, James in the backfield. 4th and half a yard. Are they going to go for it from their own 34?
Delay a game. Offense, 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
They were trying to draw him offsides. Boise State did not jump, and out comes Ross James and the Oregon punt team. So 2 possessions, 2 punts so far for the Ducks.
Yeah, this Boise State team, man, they're fired up. You got to think Dan Lanning is not very happy right now with the way this offense is playing, with the way they're just not moving the football. He was intense this week when we spoke to him. See if they can pin Boise State back deep.
Caples had a return of 17 yards, set up his offense with great field position. Ross James, last punt, he stands at the 15, and he gets it away. This one a little better hang time. Caples calls fair catch, and he takes it at the 20. Spencer Danielson, interim head coach who won a conference championship game last year. His team an early lead, 3-0. In the new Peacock Original Fight Night, schemers, dreamers, hustlers, and high rollers collide over $1 million heist on the night of Muhammad Ali's historic 1970 comeback fight in Atlanta. Kevin Hart, Taraji P. Henson, Terrence Howard, Don Cheadle, Samuel L. Jackson. Fight Night streaming now only on Peacock. Look at that beautiful sunset here behind Autzen Stadium.
Andrew, that's a great show. I don't know if you've watched it. I have.
I have not watched it. It's also a great sunset there in the Willamette Valley as we are back to football. Second drive here for Maddox Madsen and Boise State. They give to Ashton Genty. He's knocked out of the backfield. Great job by the safety, Brandon Johnson.
It's a great play by Brandon Johnson right there, just on the edge of this Oregon defense, knifing in to stop Ashton Genty. Again, a great back like Ashton Genty. You have to get this kid before he gets started. Quick penetration is the quickest killer of a run game.
And the crowd gets loud. Genty's fourth carry of the night. He's got 23. It's a loss of 2. He's still in the backfield to Madsen's left. That's the big tight end, Matt Lauder, in motion. Throw over the middle. It's caught. Losing a helmet. And still fighting to the 25-yard line. That's Latrell Caples.
Wow.
The offensive
His helmet came off.
He may not participate in the next down. Please reset the play clock.
We know Latrell is a tough kid. Let's see this catch right here. After the catch, he tries to get north. Helmet comes off. Look at that. Locks everywhere, Andrew.
Caples has to go to the sideline, losing his helmet for one play. Bryce Betcher, the linebacker, the local, with the tackle on third down. A throw and a catch to the tight end Lauder, and a good tackle by Jabbar Muhammad. And they're going to be short of the first down.
That's a great play by Jabbar Muhammad right there. The transfer out of Washington. This kid was flying around in pregame. You see the crossing route right here. Madsen puts it on his receiver, and look at Jabbar just close the space and make the tackle before Penry can get the first down.
It was actually Chase Perry there, as you said, and Rob, not Lauder, with the catch. And it's fourth down, 4th and 2, after the 4-yard gain on third down. James Ferguson Reynolds back to punt. And the Aussie gets it away. Fair catch called for, 28-yard line. Oregon, 2 drives, nothing doing here offensively. What can Tez Johnson and this Ducks offense do next? 5:27 remaining in the first. Dan Lanning's Oregon Ducks trailing here 3-0 to Boise State. 5:27 remaining in the first quarter. As prolific an offense as there is in college football, Will Stein calling the plays here. Their rankings last year through the roof, and last week also pretty darn good. 487 yards, M-Rob, last week in that closer than expected win over Idaho through 2 drives here today as they open up their 3rd drive on their own 28-yard line. Only 12 yards of offense. Gabriel's going to take a shot. Look for the explosive. Down the sideline. Stewart has it. There it is. Inside the 10.
Evan Stewart just gassing it and running right past the corner. You see it, right? I mean, this is just a flat-out sprint. And Dylan Gabriel puts it right in the breadbasket. Great explosive pass.
A gain of 67. Now Whittington fighting for the goal line. Not going to get there. He's brought down by Ty Benefield. So they go tempo. They run down the field after the 67-yard explosive that they talked all week that they needed.
And that's what they needed. Again, getting tempo after an explosive, catching the defense off guard. There's Dylan.
Gabriel's got to keep it himself. Touchdown. And Watson awakens.
This crowd is pumped up. Dylan Gabriel finally gets in the end zone. But it all started with that explosive pass play, and then this offense kicked it into gear, went into tempo, ran the football, got in the end zone. Great job by this Oregon Ducks offense.
And now Sappington, Atticus Sappington, in his 2nd game as an Oregon Duck, the transfer from Oregon State, out for the point after, and he nails it. 3 plays, 72 yards on that drive. March down the field. That's what they needed. And then Gabriel on the keeper with his 155th career touchdown, breaking a tie with Commanders quarterback, former Notre Dame and Wake Forest quarterback Sam Hartman, 2nd on the all-time list. Let's go down to the sideline. Laura Britt.
Andrew, Dylan Gabriel was one of 13 transfers to join Oregon this year, and he needed a way to quickly build chemistry with his new teammates. So he continued a tradition that started when he first transferred to Oklahoma in 2022, the dime time retreat, Gabriel's way for the offense to bond away from the football facility. So in June, some of the offense went to Grants Pass. They had a great time. And it wasn't all about football. The 3-on-3 basketball tournament and the quaking of the pool brought a smile to Gabriel's face when he told me about the weekend. It seems like it worked.
Yeah, it worked, and all 3 of us could not have been more impressed as we see the Duck dressing up like Mr. Potato Head. We have Idaho jokes here with the Broncos in town. Could not have been more impressed by Gabriel's maturity, his leadership. Said he came back to win a championship. Could have gone to the NFL. He is the team builder here in this locker room.
He absolutely is. And I was going to say it, just the emotion he showed after that touchdown. He's the catalyst for this team and offense. Dylan Gabriel, the reason he's here is to put this team over the top, get him into the CFP, and possibly a national championship.
Which is what they're fighting for, and which is what they know. Last week's result didn't feel right. Yeah, you beat Idaho. You had nearly 500 yards of offense. But you came out of it looking in the mirror saying, we have to be better than this. The process, the result, everything has to be better. All due respect to Idaho, and they said that. First words out of Dan Lanning's mouth, and I'm paraphrasing. But if you want to be playing in that playoff and have a legitimate chance to win, you need to blow some people out.
Absolutely. You got to have some style points right there. And Dan did talk about the process, right? And being serious about the process. And each week it changes. This Oregon Ducks team, they definitely process-oriented.
From the 25, Madsen from under center. Madsen has a man open. There's an explosive on the other side. Camper, the former Indiana wide receiver, with a nice catch, and they move the chains immediately there on the play fake.
Yeah, that's a great play design by Dirk Cutter right there. Just a little scissors concept in the slot. Again, coming off the play action, if you're playing against a Dirk Cutter offense, you're gonna have to deal with the play action pass. You see that quarters coverage right there. Can't cover both plays. It's a good route design right there by Dirk Cutter.
Camper gets 16, takes it to the 41. Genty in the backfield, play fake to him. All kinds of time to throw and catch it. Another one, this time it's Caples. First down just like that. 2 big completions, and the Broncos are moving in Ducks territory.
When you have such an asset in the backfield like an Ashton Genty, anytime you turn around and put the ball into his stomach, the entire defense is going to move forward and freeze, and it manipulates the underneath coverage you see right there as Madsen throws a dime through the middle of this Oregon defense.
Over the head of Tysheem Johnson, who did not play a week ago, non-injury related, number 0 back on the field here. It gets loud as Madsen moves Genty to the left of the formation and gives it to him. Ashton Genty looking for room, finding room, always turning forward, breaking tackles. That is a good gain of close to 7 on first down.
Close to 7 on first down, but again, Ashton Genty will be the first to tell you, you don't get the runs that he get without. Watch Camper come in right there and make that block. I missed it a little bit on my telestrator, but you have to have all 11 players in the run game involved when you have a guy like an Ashton Genty, the face of your offense.
Nico Reed with the tackle. Boise State down 2 starters on offense at center and at right guard, but Genty is running right, and he's bouncing off the Ducks, and he's getting another first down to the 16-yard line. They are in the red zone.
Andrew, you see that right there. Again, you see Jeffrey Bassett with the tackle. That's 2-on-2 ground, but look how he gets
Illegal
to the feet of the offensive lineman.
Backfield offense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
It's to the feet of the offensive lineman before he makes the cut. Look at the contact. Look how he's running through contact. His feet are on fire. That's what we say it in the running back meeting room, Andrew. It's a good running back right there.
It is a very good running back and a nice run. However, it is going to come back as Boise State got flagged there. As Chris Coy says, too many men in the backfield.
Man, that's the worst. As a running back, you do all of that work, then it comes back. It's like it never even happened.
As we see linebacker Jeffrey Bassa. 2nd and 8 now, the 31. They give to Genty, running right again. Look at him lower the shoulder. And look at him pick up a couple of yards. You know, Emrob, for a guy that is not that big, and we saw Ashton Genty at the hotel last night, 5'9", 215. He seeks out contact at that size.
Oh, my goodness. Did you see him in warm-ups without a shirt on? If you have muscles on top of muscles, Andrew, oh, my goodness. You'd be doing the same thing, too, as he runs through Jeffrey Bassa right there. That's a powerful individual. That's a powerful run by Ashton.
Crowd gets loud, 3rd and 2. Play clock at 10. Trying to get it to the 23. Give it to Genty, running left, I beg your pardon. And through a tackle in the backfield. And he's going to get a first down. Derek Harmon had the penetration. He could not bring him down.
Did you see Derek Harmon? I mean, wide open tackle on Genty right there. And then Genty just runs through that tackle like it's water running off of him in the shower. I mean, it's beautiful to see as a former running back. These kids must see TV.
To the 22-yard line, coming up on a minute remaining here in the first quarter. Oregon a lead over Boise State 7-3. Ball on the ground. Bad snap. Madsen picks it up, hit as he throws, and over the head of Lauder, just trying to throw it away, the tight end on the sideline.
Yeah, that was a bad snap right there. Got a new center, Zach Holmes. He thought Madsen was underneath the center as opposed to in the shotgun, but Madsen, great poise. He stays in the pocket, stays strong, throws the football away. Boise State lives to fight another day.
With Mason Randolph out with a bicep injury, Zach Holmes, Wesleyan High School, is an Oregon native, starting here at center for Boise State. Madsen to throw, has time, loading up, firing left, low throw near the 15-yard line. It's Strawn with a flag down. Flag in the backfield.
Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Oregon last week had some untimely offensive line penalties. That's an untimely defensive line penalty, roughing the passer on Harbin.
Yeah, well, let's take a look back at that play right there.
You see Derek Harmon as he gets through the offensive line. Then again, yeah, he hits Madsen right in the head right there as he tries to put his hands up to knock the football down. Can't do that, cannot hit the quarterback right there. I think Derek's a little upset that he missed that tackle on Genty in the backfield.
Ball placed just shy of the 10. So the Broncos can get a first down without getting into the end zone. Madsen on the keeper behind Lauder. Madsen running left, staying on his feet and falling forward across the 5. Addix Madsen showing his legs here as we come up on 30 seconds remaining in the first.
It's a read option. You see Madsen pull it. Watch Matt Lauder. Watch 85 right there as he blocks 2 people and gives space for his quarterback to get a couple extra yards. That's the effort that you're accustomed to seeing here at Boise State. Blue-collar program, not afraid of the moment.
Bassa with the tackle there, banged up ankle last week, was fighting to get back on the field. He convinced the coaches to get him in there in the 4th quarter last week as the game got close. He's back on the field here as time winds down in the 1st quarter. Addix Madsen and the Boise State Broncos are driving and threatening and in the red zone when we come back to start the 2nd. Dillon Gabriel's got a touchdown. Number 7 Oregon has a lead on a hot night here in Autzen Stadium, Eugene, Oregon.
We are back here about to start the 2nd quarter. The Ducks with a 7-3 lead over Boise State right now. Ahmed Hassanin, who sacked Dillon Gabriel earlier in this game, is on the table right now getting his leg wrapped, but he's got quite the remarkable story. He was born in the United States but raised in Egypt by his father, and he lived there until 2016. That's when his half-brother Corey Bush, who was a high school English teacher and football coach, visited Egypt, saw Hassanin, convinced him to come back to the United States to play football. 2 problems. Hassanin didn't speak English and didn't know football. He credits his half-brother for teaching him both. Hassanin, the first player from Egypt to ever play FBS football. Again, Andrew, he's on the table right now getting his right leg wrapped, so keep an eye on that.
Okay, Laura, thank you. Ahmed Hassanin here, who is your preseason Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year. leader in the clubhouse, one would have to think, and he's a huge part of that Boise State defense. An update on him when we can get it. In the meantime, the Boise State offense here facing a 2nd and goal. They are on the 3. Gentry in the backfield as they go with the jumbo Clydesdale formation here. Caples in motion to give to Gentry, and that Oregon D-line stands tall.
That Oregon defensive line, they did stand tall. Built the wall right there. Ashton Jeanty could not get through and peek through. He usually burrows and gets through the goal line. Let's check this out right here as he enters the line of scrimmage. Close to a face mask, but I don't think that was. Derek Harmon, he's all over the place.
As they give it to Jeanty again, bouncing to the outside. Ashton Jeanty had 6 a week ago. He's got another one, a 7th touchdown on the year. And Boise State takes the lead. 2nd quarter at Autzen.
Great eyes, as you can see right here, as Jeanty gets down and then bounce it. Watch the little hesitation. That hesitation freezes the defense. Right there, that little bit of a step inside brought all of the defenders to the blockers, allowed the space for him to bounce. See Jeanty right there. He is the spark plug for this entire Boise State team.
Behind the block of the fullback, Tyler Crow, who checked in out of the eye. Jeanty gets the touchdown. Jonah Dolmas hits the extra point. He was perfect last week's on his extra points. And Jeanty is living up to the hype in a primetime appearance here against a top 10 team.
Yeah, he's living it up. Double teams got to the 2nd level. Fullback got on his guy. As you can see it right here, they just caved the entire right side down of the Oregon defensive front. Allow for Jeanty to do his dance. Look at the fullback. I love it.
You love the celebration of the fullback here.
Absolutely. They're doing the Macarena right there. These kids are having fun. Inside of a quiet Oregon stadium. This Boise State team, again, this moment is not too big for this group. Led by that man right there, Ashton Jeanty. Ashton rushed for 2,000 yards, Andrew. He's well on his way.
Well on his way potentially here to a trip to New York, although we are quite early. Ashton Jeanty into the end zone with his already 7th touchdown of the year. That one's close to going out of bounds, as Whittington was over there just inside the pylon. However, for the touchback, got DVDs here from the Boise State Sports Information Department before the game, part of their Ashton Jeanty Heisman campaign. Big one here under the lights. He is living up to the billing. You know he is going to get the ball. He gets an average of 22 touches a game. He had a 77-yard touchdown right out of the gate on his official first carry of the game a week ago against Georgia Southern. There was a penalty on his actual first carry. You know he's getting it. He's still scoring here as Oregon opens up with a low pass and a completion on first down to the tight end, Kenyon Sadiq, who had 4 catches for 53 yards a week ago. The Idaho native playing his 2nd straight game.
Yeah, let's see if Sadiq actually caught this pass right here. Yeah, I think he got it. I think he got his hands up underneath. You see right here, Kenyon Sadiq. He's more of the mover or more of the receiving tight end. You actually saw him run the football last week against Idaho. Very athletic kid.
Ty Benefield on his back. It's a gain of 6 for the Idaho native, playing against a team from Idaho for the 2nd consecutive week. As James breaks the tackle, James gets loose. Oregon finding some room in the run game here. He gets a first down, 20 on 20. Devon Banks, the transfer from UW, runs him out of bounds.
You see Jordan James right here again. We're going to get a puller, go right here, and then James going to go into the line of scrimmage and then bounce this football in the backside A. Again, great eyes to find the lane, force missed tackles. That's something Dan Lanning told us.
Gain of 12 there, and now here's 15, Tez Johnson, who takes a hard hit. Johnson near the 45-yard line for a short gain. Johnson, 12 catches a week ago. This one's a gain of 3, and the hit, and a good one there from Marion McCoy up high, and Rodney Robinson down low.
That's a great play right there. Marion McCoy, again, at playing cornerback position. All of the corners here at Boise State are aggressive, willing tacklers. It's a good tackle right there.
Gabriel now on 2nd and 7, hit and brought down again. Second time today that Gabriel is sacked. 3 times last week, 2 times today. Rodney Robinson brings him down, the defensive back in the backfield.
Yeah, Rodney Robinson, the nickel back right there, confusing the blocking scheme of this Oregon offensive line. Some new guys up front, some shuffling. Just didn't quite get the offensive protection unit to the blitzer. This Boise State defense, they're turned up.
It's a loss of 8, and it's going to set up 3rd and long, 3rd and 15. Have to get it across midfield to the 47. Gabriel chased again, sacked again. Shea Oladipo sacks on consecutive plays by Boise State to force an Oregon punt.
Defensive coordinator Eric Shenander, he is in his bag right now. These are consecutive blitzes, play after play, confusing the blocking unit of the Oregon Ducks, challenging Dillon Gabriel if he's going to run the football. This is an all-out blitz, 0 coverage. Nowhere to go with the football for Dillon Gabriel. See Oladipo right there, excited, locked down.
And now the punt as Caples backs up that Oregon offensive line. Caples is going to let it bounce, go into the end zone. Was the issue coming in. Gave up only 5 sacks a year ago. Already 6 sacks through 5+ quarters this season. Boise State a 10-7 lead. Boise State has a lead here 10-7 after the Ashton Jeanty touchdown. The defense stepped up with back-to-back sacks, both of them from the secondary, both of them from nickelbacks. 1 for Robinson, 1 for Oladipo, and Oregon quarterback Dillon Gabriel has been sacked already 3 times today. And we still have 11:15 remaining in the second quarter. Last 2 seasons, Oregon And the quarterbacks have been sacked only 10 times. This year, already 6. As we're back to play, Madsen, a play fake. Ball knocked down in the backfield there. As it was Jordan Birch, the defensive end, who got a hand up on that.
Yeah, Jordan Birch had a half a sack last week against Idaho. This kid is huge. 6'6", 290 pounds. Puts his big paws up. Madsen cannot throw the football around him. Almost had the athleticism to intercept it as well. It's a good play.
Jordan Birch, the South Carolina transfer. 2nd and 10. Give to Genty. Knocked down to the backfield. Birch is there. Devin Jackson, the speedy linebacker, with the penetration as well.
Yeah, Birch did a great job of getting that quick penetration. And then you see Devin Jackson coming over the top, making the tackle in the backfield again. To stop a run game, you have to get this quick penetration. Boise State offensive line didn't get up to the will linebacker. Devin Jackson shot the gap, got JT in the backfield.
3rd and 11. And this Oregon crowd gets on its feet. Play clock winding down. Madsen calls for it. Quick screen to the outside. Genty, nowhere to go. Bryce Betcher.
That's a great play by Bryce Betcher, the baseball player, when he just drafted by the Houston Astros, but he showed how much he loved football on this play. Look at the aggressiveness. He beats the block.
Chris
Marshall, yeah. Makes the tackle on Genty right there. Great effort and a big-time tackle on a franchise back.
Absolutely. Betcher, a double walk-on, both football and baseball, drafted 13th round, as you said, Emron, by the Houston Astros. Likely heading to spring training in Arizona in February.
Nice space.
Here he makes a tackle. Tez Johnson has space. Johnson, big return. Tripped up across the Boise State 35.
Tez Johnson, this is the guy. This is the excitement for this stadium and team, as you can hear this stadium right now. Low kick by Boise State. Allowed Tez Johnson to catch this thing on the bounce. Watching this kid in pregame, he's excited about playing football. And he can run all day, Andrew. I saw this kid run every route in the route tree, back to back. He's also the punt returner. Cannot give a kid like that space as the excitement to get the entire stadium excited. It's a good return.
A 24-yard return for the man who led Oregon with 86 receptions a year ago. Tez Johnson, #1 weapon on the outside here for Dylan Gabriel, who's got great field position, 34-yard line. Trailing 10-7. Gabriel has time to set up and fire over the middle towards the end zone. There's a catch. There's a touchdown. Gabriel with the score to Evan Stewart.
Big-time play design right here by Will Stein, offensive coordinator for the Oregon Ducks. See Dylan Gabriel right there showing a little swag and personality. They max protected, got their wideouts out on routes. See Evan Stewart, who had an explosive earlier that led to a score earlier. This time, Dylan Gabriel puts the ball on him on a deep post.
A 34-yard touchdown for Evan Stewart, who is already over 100 yards. That other explosive 67 to set up the first Oregon score. This one, 34 for the second Oregon score. When he has time, Gabriel's dealing, and the Ducks are back in front. Tell you what, we got a game here. Number 7 Oregon trying to beat Boise State for the first time ever. That's right, the Broncos have beaten the Ducks all 3 times. These two programs have met. Number 7 Oregon a lead 14-10. 9:28 remaining here in the second quarter. Ashton Jeanty already has his 7th touchdown of the season here tonight. He was back near the goal line. He's now going to move up to the 20 as the up back. As Caples is back to return, and he will let it go over his head. Jeanty and Dylan Gabriel, the 2 Heisman hopefuls. Michael Robinson in this game. He's been sacked. Gabriel has already 3 times today. But when he has time, he's going to carve you up.
Oh, yeah, you give this kid time. He's going to find his explosives. You see him hitting Evan Stewart in stride, just dropping it right in the bucket. And again, right here, just a little read option play right here. And you can see him fired up. And here's the touchdown play right here. Just a great design by offensive coordinator Will Stein. Gets Evan Stewart again. Do your dance, young man.
34-yard touchdown. Mentioned Jeanty earlier. It's now Sire Gaines, the 17-year-old freshman to the backfield. Doesn't turn 18 for a couple of more weeks. Gaines had over 100 yards a week ago. Here, he's cut down by Jordan Birch after a short gain of maybe 2.
Yeah, Jordan Birch in on that tackle. Dante Manning also in on that tackle. Cutting Sire Gaines down. Sire had a game last week. Mountain West Conference Freshman of the Week. Over 100 yards rushing, as you said, Andrew. This Boise State offense has a 1-2 punch where they feel they don't have a lot of drop-off when this kid comes in the game.
That 110 last week came on only 12 carries. For the freshman out of California, Madsen now on second down. Ball deflected, and it falls incomplete at the 25. So energized by this Autzen crowd, the defense here for the Ducks trying to get off the field and face.
Yeah, you see Big Caldwell right there getting his big paw up, getting his hand up in Madsen's face. But again, when you talk about this Boise State offense, it starts with the run game. So straight drop back passing without some type of play action to give the offensive line an advantage puts this Boise State offense at a disadvantage.
Caldwell 6'1", 340. Madsen Chase throwing it over the head of his tight end, Matt Wagner, and incomplete. And after the one-play touchdown drive, the Oregon defense forces the 3-and-out.
Yeah, the Oregon defense seems to be fired up now that the offense is starting to get on track. And Andrew, as we've been talking about all first half, it starts with the explosive passing of Oregon. Seems to excite this entire team.
Spencer Danielson knows this is his shot here for his team to get on the map here. The Group of 5 top-ranked team of the Group of 5 at the end of the year gets a spot in the 12-team playoff. Tez Johnson had a big return last time. Not going to have one here. He's got to take the Ross James punt and call a fair catch near the 30. Coming up tomorrow, Sunday Night Football is back. The debut in Detroit. Matthew Stafford and the Rams taking on Jared Goff and the Lions. Sunday, 7 Eastern on NBC and Peacock. The Rams going back to the same building where their season ended a year ago, to the Lions on Wild Card Sunday night.
Good game. I'll be tuned in, Andrew. I'll be tuned in.
I will be tuned in as well. Dan Lanning might be tuned into his Ducks right now, leading 14-10. Gabriel 6-4-6. There's a flag down here as Johnson cuts it back inside and gets tripped up near the 35. But multiple flags are down, and the Broncos are pointing back to the offense. Our referee tonight, Chris Coit.
Holding. Offense, number 18. 10-yard penalty, first down.
The tight end, Kenyon Sadiq.
Yeah, Kenyon Sadiq, you see him right there. Right there with the hold. And again, that's an effort penalty.
But a penalty nonetheless, holding Robinson, the DB who had a sack on the previous drive.
Dan Lanning told us this week, it's all about getting his playmakers in space. You see him trying to get Tez Johnson the ball in space right there, making people miss.
It's going to back him up inside the 20, and now a 1st and 20 throw to the outside and caught there by Trayshawn Holden, who turns it upfield, gets some of that yardage back, but not much. And another flag now near the 22.
And Trayshawn may have threw his hand at the defensive back. Ref says.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 1 is first of the game. Half the distance to the goal. The down counts. It's second.
See it right here, just an aggressive tackle by Marion McCoy. See Trayshawn Holden right there throwing.
Second guy always gets flagged.
Always.
McCoy with that shove out of bounds there, and Holden got upset. He didn't like it, and the second guy's the one that always gets caught. And now we have a hold on Sadiq, and then that on Holden, and they're going to back up again, and it's going to be 2nd and 31. Oregon needs to make it to the 38 for a new set of downs. Gabriel, the keeper. That's not going to get all of it back, but it's going to get a couple back. Gabriel didn't run much last week as well. Almost looked as if, Michael, that he was hesitant to run, as if he had been told not to run when maybe space opened up. There he got a couple of yards, but not exactly quarterback run here.
No.
Obviously part of the offense.
But that was a called quarterback run, and again, they didn't call any called quarterback runs last week. It did surprise me he didn't scramble when there were rush lanes.
Oregon 0 for 3 on 3rd down today. This is a 3rd and 23. Yeah, need the 38. Gabriel alone to the backfield, takes the snap, pressure. Gabriel brought down again. Andrew Simpson. And this Boise State pass rush is living in the backfield.
Andrew Simpson, here he is right here, acting like he's talking to one of his teammates. Faked the offensive line out and got to Dylan Gabriel, one of the better off-the-ball linebackers, pass rushers in the country. See Andrew Simpson right there, getting excited.
At a career high 12 tackles a week ago at Georgia Southern. He also had a sack, and here he gets another one for Boise State. High punt taken to the 50-yard line. Good return down the sideline. Cooper Jones in great field position across the 30-yard line. So a short field after again Boise State and Eric Chenander, that DC is in the Oregon backfield.
Yeah, they are in the Oregon backfield. This Oregon offensive line, they don't know exactly where the extra guys are coming from. See Eric Chenander put an extra guy on the defensive line to the left. The line slides that way, then he sends pressure from the right. Great game plan.
As now Tosh Lupoy, the Oregon DC, has to defend a short field. As Boise State's going to open on the plus 30 with Camper in motion and Genty in the backfield. And Genty trying to find some room with not a lot of room to run. Brandon Johnson, number 3, the safety on his back.
Brandon Johnson again making the tackle, coming up from that safety position, getting in the box. And again, oftentimes offenses do not account for safeties in the blocking. So as a safety, if you're a free hitter, you have to be a playmaker. Brandon definitely was on that play.
No gain, 2nd down. 5.5 to go here. 2nd quarter. Oregon leading 14-10. Caught in traffic. Caples across the 20. Dangerous throw there, but Caples has it, holds on to the football. And we're in the red zone here for Boise State. It's a gain of 13.
That's a good catch by Latrell Caples, the combat catcher in this receiving core for Boise State. Just a little slant inside receiver. That play almost actually got picked by Bassa.
Not sure Bassa saw it.
Yeah, that ball came out hot. See Latrell fighting for yards. Glad to be back on the football field. Was injured last season. It's a good catch.
So now red zone, 18-yard line. Genty the back, under 5 to go. Second quarter, play fake to Genty. Madsen throwing, end zone, and he's got a touchdown. Camper. The transfer from Indiana with a 17-yard score.
Great play by the University of Indiana transfer, Cam Camper, with a little toe drag swag right here. Madsen throws an absolute dime. And Andrew, that is inbounds on Saturdays, on Sundays, and any day in between. Great catch by Cam Camper.
Jabbar Muhammad on the coverage. Got both feet down. Jonah Dalmas nails the extra point. And working on a short field. Boise takes advantage.
Boise definitely takes advantage. See Madsen throwing a dime. Cam with the big catch. We'll be back.
Boise State knew this is its shot to get him on the map. Cam Camper a touchdown, and then a shot from his head coach there, Spencer Danielson.
And that's why this Boise State team, they go so hard for their head coach. Look at that's genuine excitement and happiness for Cam Camper. His first touchdown as a Boise State Bronco, 4th of his career. It's a good job by this Boise State offense.
Torn ACL a couple of years ago at Indiana, and a huge addition to this Boise State team. As we go down to Laura Britt on the sideline. Laura?
Yeah, the Boise State defense with 4 sacks throughout this game. I just walked down the Boise State sideline and I heard Ahmed Hassanin encouraging his fellow defensive players, saying one play at a time, one play at a time. They are fully invested in getting to Dillon Gabriel tonight.
And they have done it tonight, as they did last week as well. Down against Georgia Southern, racking up the sacks. 4 here tonight, and Dillon Gabriel, when he has time, has been good. 6 for 6 passing, but they've been getting after it. Here on first down, they will run. Give it to James, who's got a Good head of steam, and James will lower his shoulder, fall forward for a gain of 10 and a first down, trying to bring some life back to this crowd that got a little quiet after Boise State took the lead 17-14.
Now, I know many people look at this Oregon offense. They're a spread team, but in the run game, they want to be physical. You saw it come to life right there with Jordan James.
That was a gain of 11. Not going to get it here. Braxton Feely, who you see sometimes on the offense as a tight end in the backfield here for Oregon's offense.
See Braxton Feely right there just playing a 2-eye, swims the guard and gets in the backfield. Oftentimes defensive tackles, when they get in the backfield, they don't always make the tackle. Braxton Feely right there, playmaker defensive tackle.
Beat the left guard, 55 Marcus Harper. Loss of 3 brings up second and 13. James in the run game. James breaking tackles. James brought down by Teubner.
It's a great tackle by Alexander Teubner right there. Flying from the secondary to make the tackle on Jordan James. That's a special skill, Andrew, to come from the secondary and be able to get into the box and make a tackle on a running back.
And a special night for Teubner, the Seaside, Oregon native, playing in Oregon, the former walk-on. Clearly offsides here. Ferguson with the catch. Terrence Ferguson at midfield. Let's see if they let this stand. Oregon's right into the 50. There is a flag on the far side.
Defense number 23. Penalties declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Oladipo is in the backfield. They're going to let it go. It's a gain of 15. Didn't have the clear path to the quarterback. No whistle. And Gabriel quick to get it out. Got the first down, 15, to his tight end. And now Gabriel to the outside to his wide receiver. That's caught Evan Stewart. Brought down by his fellow number 7, Marion McCoy on the far sideline. Clock winding down now. Coming down towards 3 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Don't forget, new this year in college football, there will be a 2-minute timeout. Not a warning. I'll warn you that it will be a timeout.
There you go, Andrew.
Coming up shortly. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Oregon, Dan Lanning wants to win the middle 8 here. Last 4 minutes of one half, first 4 minutes of the second. Stewart takes a big pop. Incomplete near the 20 as Gabriel was under pressure and tried to loft it down the sideline.
Yeah, Gabriel was definitely under pressure right there, throwing from a well. But Marion McCoy did a great job finding the football, playing downhill on Evan Stewart and not getting the penalty for unnecessary roughness. Gets his helmet out of the play, hits him with his shoulder, gives him a little love tap. Says, I'm here.
He is here. And now we have a Bronco down the field. That's McCoy. Just laid a couple of hard hits here. Also had one on the sideline that could have drawn a penalty earlier. Instead, Trayshawn Holden got called. The Oregon wide receiver got called for the retaliation. Second guy always gets dinged.
Definitely right about that. Marion has had a great game, a willing tackler. He's in on some PBUs as well. This Boise State defense, they're playing great football right now. They just have to limit the explosives from this Oregon offense. If they can do that and just make tackles, they'll stay in this game.
McCoy led the Broncos with 3 interceptions a year ago. Actually could have had a 4th, dropped one in the bowl game at SoFi Stadium. Making his presence felt here tonight. 3rd and 6. Oregon with Sadiq in the backfield, the tight end now motioning out to the left, needs to get to Boise State 39 to keep this drive alive. They're going to run on the end around. Not going to get it.
No, definitely not going to get it on that. You see Kenyon Sadiq. He's the more athletic tight end. They also hand him the football. It can be a matchup nightmare.
He had 2 carries a week ago for only 5 yards. That's his 3rd carry of the season. It's going to lose a yard. And it's now 4th and 7, and the punt team is out, and this clock is going to wind down towards the 2-minute timeout. With the home team, the 7th-ranked Oregon Ducks, trailing the upstate Boise State Broncos, who are looking to get the ball back. 2 minutes remaining here, first half at Autzen. Coming up on the Xfinity Halftime Report, Nebraska, big statement win over Colorado. Number 5, Notre Dame goes down. Late action as well from around college football. Nicole Auerbach, Joshua Perry back in the studio with highlights of this one as well. 2 minutes remaining at Autzen Stadium. Laura Britt on the sideline. Michael Robinson and Andrew Siciliano, the fans here at Autzen, trying to put on a good face for another result that they didn't think they would see coming. A punt here in a 17-14 game. Boise State with the lead, and here a touchback as Caples lets it go over his head, and Ross James is going to put it in the end zone. You saw M-Rob. Now we had the Notre Dame upset. We had the Michigan loss as well, getting pounded at home by Texas. Your Penn State Nittany Lions pushed to the limit, eventually got a victory over Bowling Green. We knew this one would be tight. Oregon, number 7 of the nation after last week, falling from 3 down to 7 despite a win, is in a battle here.
In a battle against a team in Boise State who is not afraid of the moment, and they're playing physical football right now.
Ashton Jeanty breaks a tackle in the backfield, because of course he does, and breaks free across the 30, the 40. Jeanty keeps going out of bounds near midfield.
Wow. What a run by Ashton Jeanty, I'm sorry. Using his stiff arm, circling the defense. You see Ashton right here trying to get downhill. 1 missed tackle, 2 missed tackles.
No missed tackle here.
No missed tackle right now.
No. Devin Jackson with the tackle. That was a gain of 31 for a tackle-breaking machine to open up this drive.
He forced 106 missed tackles in 2023, led the country by a mile. This kid, his contact balance, I cannot talk about it enough. He's tough for any defender to bring down, especially a secondary.
Could have gone to the portal, could have gone anywhere. Could start legitimately for any team in FBS. Chose to stay here with Spencer Danielson, and it's paying dividends. Zach Holmes, the center, the Oregon native there, directing traffic. Playing back at home, Mason Randolph out. Inside of 2 minutes remaining, as we hear Chris Coyner, referee, remember, inside of 2 minutes, so inside of a 2-minute timeout, the clock will stop for a first down. It will restart, however, when the ball is set. Madsen now from the 48. Out to Holt, or Bolt, to beg your pardon. Austin Bolt, 81, with the short gain. And Jackson with the tackle. The clock is going to stop at 1:21 and bring up a 3rd and 6. Need to make it to the 39 for a new set of downs here. The crowd tries to convince itself to get loud.
The Dirk Cutter, offense coordinator for Boise State, quarterback Madsen doing a good job working the sidelines, making sure his pass catchers get out of bounds.
Marshall in motion, bottom of your screen. Madsen, throw over the middle. That's a catch. Lauder, he's got a first down. Tuioti with the tackle. Gonna get it to the 35, and the clock stops at 1:14 as they move the chains and a gain of 10.
Watch the blitz pickup right there by Ashton Jeanty that allowed this play to get off. Look at that block right there.
Now Madsen takes a shot for Bolt, and he can't hang on. Jabbar Muhammad with the coverage inside the 10.
It's a good job by Jabbar Muhammad. Jumping up with Austin Bolt, trying to high point the football. See Jabbar limping a little bit.
Jabbar Muhammad, the transfer from UW, limping. A huge addition to that secondary with a nice play here, but it gets up slowly.
Yeah, you see him right there, pin the receiver against the sideline. But you see Muhammad almost pick that ball off right there.
And he goes to the sideline. 1 minute to go, second down. Try to set up the screen. There it is, Jeanty at the 30. Jeanty takes a man with him and is brought down to the 27-yard line. Kobe Savage with the tackle. Tuioti there as well. And a clock stoppage at 47. Boise State takes its first timeout.
There's an art
two running backs finding a way to get out on screens. You see Genty right there going underneath the 3 technique. Usually that spells despair for a running back, but he finds a way to get out, make a target for his quarterback, gets positive yards. This kid can be a focal point in the passing game. He's obviously a focal point in this Boise State running game. Again, having to be the best player on the football field for this Boise State team to win.
Dan Lanning with Taj Lupoy as defensive coordinator. A defense that last week did pretty darn well. A couple of misdirections, a couple of trick plays, a couple of short fields. That's where Idaho did its damage. But if you look at the overall numbers, held them at only 10 first downs last week. 2 of 12 the Vandals were on 3rd down. Today, 186 yards, however, against that Lupoy and Lanning defense. 3rd and 2, need the 25. 2 timeouts remaining, 46 seconds. Madsen gives to Genty, running forward, has the first down. Genty across the 20, into the red zone. Kobe Savage, the tackle, down to the 15. And the clock is going to stop as they move the chains.
Clock stop again, another positive run. Ashton Genty falling forward.
Now Madsen on first down, throwing inside the 5, ball low, incomplete. Wanted Capers.
Let's see how close this was to being a catch, Andrew. Maddox staying in the pocket. The ball actually gets tipped, and so the ball kind of dies right there. That's close, but I do think the ball hit the ground.
Harmon got a hand on it. Rushing through Zach Holmes, the center. 27 on the clock. 2 timeouts. 15-yard line. Madsen. Genty picks up a block. Madsen throws inside the 5. Complete. That's Strawn and another first down. Manning with the tackle. They're going to stop the clock as they reset the chains. 20 seconds to go.
Watch this block by Ashton Genty again. Boom, right there. He took it a little bit, but he allowed his quarterback to get the pass off with the big completion.
Now the fade, corner, incomplete. Wanted Camper, and a flag.
Nico Reed.
Dante Manning on the coverage.
See if they're going to call PI right here or what. Good ball placement.
There is no foul on the play. The contact was ruled legal. It's 2nd down.
Let's look at it. They ruled it no contact. Nico Reed right there on the coverage. Again, 9 on 9. Looks like Camper tried a little bit of acting a little bit. But obviously, the refs didn't think it was a penalty.
It was Reed, not Manning. You were right, Emrob, 9 and 9. And now Capel's in motion. Madsen, the play fake. Madsen, lofting, back of the end zone, incomplete. He wanted Chase Penry, and he couldn't bring it down. Reed on the coverage.
Oh, if Maddox Madsen, when he sees this tape, I think he's gonna be upset with himself. There's the route Penry in the back of the end zone, but there's a tight end right underneath him that's wide open. Nate Maddox just couldn't see him. Trying to give his receiver a chance. Take the underneath tight end, and I think he walks in for a touchdown.
And now take the points is what Spencer Danielson says. Jonah Dalmas, a 21-yard field goal try with 5 seconds to go. Extends the lead for the Boise State Broncos. It is a 20-14 game with 2 seconds left here in the first half at Austin.
And I'm stunned a little bit. I think a lot of people here in this stadium are stunned a little bit just by how close this game is, how well Boise State is playing. I mean, look at this series right here. Boise State leads at 3-0.
Boise State has never lost to Oregon. 3 meetings here. You have the game in 2008. That was here in Oregon. Kellen Moore led the Broncos to a victory. Oregon down to its 4th and 5th string quarterbacks. By the time that game was over in 2009, that was the opener, the LeGarrette Blount game at Boise State. And then in 2017, Mario Cristobal's debut as head coach of the Ducks. That was the Las Vegas Bowl. We knew this game, I don't want to say it would be tight, but we knew Boise State would come in swinging here, Rob. But as we see Whittington back for the return here, this was the week in which Oregon was going to fix everything that didn't go perfectly last week. Short kickoff here. And a fair catch at the 30-yard line. 2 seconds remaining for potentially a deep shot. Patrick Herbert, the tight end, brother of Justin, who's facing the Raiders tomorrow.
Oftentimes, a true test of a team or a measurement of a team is how big of a jump they make from week 1 to week 2. But I think in Oregon's case, the week 2 opponent was just one of those opponents, right? You talk about Boise State, who again, like we've been saying all night, they're not afraid of this moment. They're not afraid of the Oregon rankings. They're not afraid to come into this stadium and play a physical brand of football.
And that physical brand of football, sacking Dylan Gabriel 4 times, riding Ashton Genty, Maddox Madsen with some nice work in the pocket as well, has given these Boise fans who made the drive something to cheer about. The Broncos leading 20-14 for Coach Spencer Danielson, who's standing by with Laura.
Coach, your defense sacking Dylan Gabriel 4 times in the first half of this game. How would you describe their play?
Yeah, first off, thank you, Jesus. I mean, what an opportunity to be here. Our guys are playing their tails off. And Coach Chin's, the D staff, mixing up the looks. We knew we had to get after Dylan Gabriel. I mean, he's how everything runs through him. And our guys are playing hard. We got to finish now. We got to finish in all 3 phases. We got to finish together. Right now, I tell them your best is enough. Don't be someone you're not. Your best is enough. Finish together.
A 6-point lead right now at the half over the number 7 ranked team in the country. What's your message to your team?
Just that. I mean, believe. And don't put your Superman cape on. Your best is enough. But it's required of everybody, coaches and players, to finish this game.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Spencer Danielson here, looking at a shot to knock off the number 7 team in the nation, leading at the half after a 17-point second quarter. It's 20-14 over number 7 Oregon.
Welcome to the Xfinity Halftime Report.
Boise State is 3-0 all-time against Oregon, trying to make it 4. They are up 20-14 at the half. The game went back and forth, but the Broncos take the lead into halftime. We are thrilled to be with you here and catch you up on everything in college football. And what you just saw, I'm Nicole Auerbach. He's Joshua Perry. And one of the things that we saw a lot of was Dillon Gabriel on the ground.
It's an issue. Oregon has a sack issue officially this year, and it's popped up numerous times this evening in a very unfortunate way. And I'm going to cut the offensive line here a little bit of slack because I'm not sure it's all on them. I think part of this is Dillon Gabriel, where he likes to evade out of the pocket, communication issues on the offensive line, maybe with the quarterback as well. It's something they have to get solved. All of last year, Oregon gave up 5 sacks total. Through 6 quarters this season, they have given up 7. That includes 4 tonight. These are not championship numbers. We know Oregon has championship aspirations. They have to get that fixed.
Yeah, and this is obviously going to be a problem in the Big Ten in year 1 for the Ducks. But we cannot ignore what Boise State did. We talked a lot about Ashton Jeanty coming into this game. He has 88 yards and a touchdown in the first half. But also, it wasn't just him.
No, I mean, you see it right there. He is a very talented back, obviously a lot of excitement. They did it with the pass game, too, and this was set up off of one of those sacks in backed-up territory.
Yep.
Boise State got the ball back in great field position, but, Nicole, you mentioned Jeanty and his playmaking ability.
Yeah, and you know what? He had some key blocks, too. We saw that down the stretch as well. But he's just such a threat. He had 6 touchdowns a week ago, and you know that Oregon is focused on him every single time that he is in the backfield.
Yeah, I think for Boise State, you have to continue to mix up the looks because they've been successful on the ground and through the air. And for Oregon, you got to find answers to be able to heat them up a little bit.
Absolutely. We will show you what's happening around the country in college football tonight. Plus, we'll talk about the big results of the day and some upsets in the Big Ten right after this.
Clemson, again, we're having the conversation about, hey, like, why don't they use the portal? I don't think like a couple portal plays would have changed the outcome of this game.
And this is what bothers me about Dabo so much, is they're like, Dabo, why don't you use the portal? And he says, well, I don't think there's one player in there that's better than any of the players that we have. It's just not true. Like, objectively, that is false.
You can catch us on new episodes of Rushing the Field every Thursday all season. And by the way, Clemson rolled to a big win tonight over App State. It was 66-20 as we now go to our college football reset, brought to you by Xfinity.
Well, let's get it started. We got Tennessee Volunteers. They're taking on NC State in the SEC ACC Top 25 matchup. Tennessee running the football very well. The thing you need to know about them, this offense is as advertised. They put up 50 points in these 2 games of this regular season so far.
All right, let's stay in the SEC as LSU was in a tight one. This is the 2-point game in the 3rd quarter until Garrett Nussmeier found Kyron Lacey. LSU scored the final 21 points in this game. Nussmeier finished with 6 touchdowns, so it ended up being a pretty good day.
All right, let's flip it over to action down south there. We got Houston. They're taking on Oklahoma. It's late in the 4th quarter. Houston's down 2. They have the ball, but Oklahoma relying on their defense. Brent Venables coming through for that unit. This was not the prettiest of games here, but Oklahoma was able to close this one out. Final score, 16-12.
Okay, speaking of games that maybe the score makes it seem like it was prettier than it was, let's talk about Alabama. First of all, this was Alabama unveiling Nick Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium, and I don't think he was all that thrilled with what he saw for much of this game. It was a 1-point game in the 4th. It took until Alabama scored the final 28 points in the final frame to pull away. Look at that score. That is a misleading final score.
It is so misleading.
Let's check in on the top 10. Wow, there's one game that stands out there. There was a major upset in college football. Notre Dame losing to Northern Illinois, and a big result that I think we expected in Texas beating Michigan. But the story of the day absolutely is the Irish.
Yeah, and I'll start with the Notre Dame side of things. That offense needs to improve a ton. The more I get away from that game, the more I think the defense could have come up with more stops, certainly. But they played well enough that you should be able to put up enough points to win. Riley Leonard not getting the job done with his arm. They're going to have to improve that, switch up the way that they're approaching things. But there is a different side of this for Northern Illinois, where those guys showed up and they wanted to play in that football game, and it really showed. And I think a lot of times, Power 4 team rolls out there. They think they could just do whatever. It doesn't work like that. In the group of 5 teams now, they can get into the playoff. It is a realistic opportunity to compete for a championship at the end of the year, and we're seeing them play with some intensity.
Yeah, absolutely. And Notre Dame does get a little bit of wiggle room, of course, because this is a 12-team college football playoff, but with the way that offense is looking, I don't know if we feel good about the Irish actually doing that. How about Texas getting a nice win in the Big House?
They're certainly a team that can compete for a championship at the end of the year. They've got a Heisman contender at quarterback. I love the way that they played in the trenches. They've got plenty of skill, even at running back, which is a banged-up position for them. They look like they created the matchups they wanted today.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's get to more Big Ten highlights because we had some interesting results. This was our Big Ten Saturday night game.
Yeah, I mean, you got Prime, you got Matt Rule. Who's going to win this one? It ends up being Nebraska. It wasn't really close, but Dylan Raiola has looked phenomenal to start his career in college.
No turnovers so far from the true freshman quarterback. That is huge. Let's talk about rushing the field, Joshua. Is that the name of our podcast?
Yeah, sure is.
All right, well, let's see if there's a possibility that
this was my
happens
upset
here.
pick of the week, by the way.
It was, and this is a really impressive showing for Illinois. They take the lead late, and then they get pressure on Jalen Daniels, and that will do it. We are going to see a very slow field rush, but this is a massive win for the Illini against a ranked Kansas team. These two teams have been on similar trajectories, and that was a big one. Here are some other scores around the country. How about that win for Michigan State?
That's a big deal. Jonathan Smith early on in his tenure. Aiden Childs, rough game, right? Week 1 against Florida Atlantic. Comes back, plays solid football there. I think the arrow's starting to point up a little bit for Michigan State.
It might, and the arrow is absolutely pointing up for Nebraska.
Yeah.
That was a huge win and a big statement, I think, from both sides of the ball.
I agree with you. We talked about Dylan Raiola a little bit during that highlight there. You mentioned the fact that he's protected the football. He looks like a more veteran quarterback than just a true freshman, which is important for them. That defense is phenomenal, and they were really good a year ago, so it's great to see them continue that trend. Tony White is underrated as a defensive coordinator. The question for me now is how quickly can they get to the bowl game, right? Like, this is a team realistically that could start the season off 7-0.
7-0 heading into Ohio State, which would be pretty shocking, I think, for the Huskers who haven't been bowling since 2016. There were also some surprising results. We mentioned Michigan State as well, but how about Iowa? They look to be in control in that game, and they go and lose for the second straight time at home to Iowa State.
You know, and it's rare that Iowa gets up in a game and they have big plays defensively that let the other team back. I'm curious to see how they're going to respond from the result today.
Absolutely. Well, there is lots of football still to play. Boise State tries to join the list of the upsets today. We've got more from Eugene when we come back. We've got 2 games next Saturday on Peacock, Illinois at home in the early window, followed by the Apple Cup between Washington and Washington State. Big Ten Saturday night, we'll see Indiana on the road at UCLA. Joshua, before we get back to this game, what do you want to see in the second half from Oregon?
We saw some explosive offense from Oregon, something that we didn't see in week 1 against Idaho. It's what they need to get back to. Dillon Gabriel, we know the talent that he has. He also has really good weapons out there. Evan Stewart had himself a huge half, put up a ton of yards there. He's also got guys like Tez Johnson on the outside. We had heard so much in preseason about this offense, their ability to be explosive, and I believe that. I believe they've got the quarterback to do it. I certainly think they have the wide receivers to do it. They have to go out and execute. Part of that is the protection.
They absolutely have to protect, and this is a team that is a playoff contender and maybe a national title favorite, so they need to get things right pretty quickly. The second half is coming up at Autzen Stadium. Andrew Siciliano, Mike Robinson, and Laura Britt will have the call after this. Is Boise State going to make it 4-0 against the Ducks? We'll find out soon.
This has been the Xfinity Halftime Report.
20-14, first half recap brought to you by Geico. Get more with Geico. And what? Boise State's getting more, looking to go to 4-0 all-time against Oregon. Look at these stats. Ashton Jeanty is in the end zone, 95 yards total for the Broncos on the ground. The 4 sacks factor in the 18 rushing yards here for Oregon. But the offense that had it rolling last week, but simply couldn't get the explosives and couldn't score, is not getting the yardage here today. And Oregon is in danger of seeing the nation's longest non-conference home winning streak go up in smoke. Now, Michigan was 4th on this list, Michael Robinson, when the day began. But Oregon has won 33 in a row against non-conference teams here at Autzen.
Yeah, that stat is phenomenal. I mean, these guys protect home field, and these guys show up when other groups come into this stadium.
Oregon's first time trailing at home to a non-conference opponent since September 4th of 2021, 3 years ago. That was against Fresno State, trailed by a field goal in the 4th quarter, ended up winning that game by a touchdown, 31-24. Need to rally here to beat Boise State tonight. Let's go down to the sideline. And Laura Britt.
Andrew had just caught up with head coach Dan Lanning. I asked him what the demeanor was like and how his team was responding to the adversity of being down 6 by the half. He said simply, we're ready to go. We're ready to go, and that they are ready for the second half of this game. When asked about the adjustments they need to make, establish the run.
And stop the run as well. M-Rob O to be a fly on the wall in that locker room at the half. Play. Loose on the turf, and they're going to roll it, and incompletion as Maddox Madsen got drilled backpedaling, and he's lucky that wasn't a turnover.
Very lucky that was. Let's see if his arm was going forward on that one.
Tuioti in the backfield.
Yeah.
His arm was going forward, just got the elbow.
Yeah, just got the elbow. He tried to pump it. Got lucky on that one.
And Oregon brings pressure on first down, trying to create the turnover. Forces the incompletion. On second down, Boise State will run. Got to stop the run to get a win here tonight. It's Jeanty falling forward. Bryce Betcher, 28 there to clean it up. Third down.
I mean, Andrew, you look at that play right there. I mean, first of all, look at the rushing right there. I mean, in the first half, Boise State 95 rushing yards, Oregon 18. No wonder Dan Lanning told Laura that establishing the run game in the line of scrimmage was paramount for this Oregon Ducks offense.
3rd and 5, the Broncos 5 out of 9 on third down tonight. Need to get to the 35. Madsen rolling, eyes downfield, lofting towards the sideline. That's a catch, and that is a first down. It's Austin Bolt to keep the drive alive.
Good catch by Austin Bolt, but an even better job by the quarterback, Maddox Madsen. He squared his shoulders up to back the defense up right there. That little look downfield, it backed Muhammad up, which opened up some space for him to get that ball in there. Great job with your eyes, Maddox Madsen.
A gain of 8. Boise has 13 first downs. Oregon has only 5. Just over a minute in here in the second half. Give up the middle. That's the true freshman Sire Gaines with a nice gain. 4 gains on first down. Keon Ware Hudson to tackle, a gain of 5.
Yeah, this kid, Sire Gaines. I like watching this kid run. He's like what we call in the running back room, Andrew, a bowling ball of butchering knives, right? You don't want to stand in front of that kid when he's running the football. And as you mentioned, 17 years old. 17. This kid has young legs. He's ready to go.
Not old enough to vote. Turns 18 on the 25th of September. Another carry for Gaines. Maybe 2 yards over the left side. They set up another third down here early on, third quarter.
Another third down. They're taking it to these defensive tackles of Oregon. see Jamari Caldwell right there in on that tackle. We've been talking about Derek Harmon all day. The strength of this Boise State offensive line is in the interior, and they're definitely leaning on those guys. Been banged up over the last couple of weeks. A lot of guys rotating in the interior. They're doing a good job with their double teams, getting to the second level and providing space for these Bronco backs to run.
As we see Justin Jacobs, the linebacker, looking into his helmet there. Here's the pressure. Madsen backpedaling, throwing it incomplete. One and Marshall, no flag.
See that play right there. A little pressure coming up the middle. This Boise State blocking unit. Again, Derek Harmon again, just having a day. Beats the center, and Zach Holmes gets a pressure.
Marion Winston 32 with good push up front as well. As the punt team is out, the Aussie James Ferguson Reynolds stands at his 30. The always dangerous Tez Johnson back at the 10. And a 34-yard punt return earlier to set up an Oregon score. Runs to the left and calls fair catch near the 12. Let's see what the Oregon offense has here to open up the third. Trailing Boise State 2014. That's Boise State punter, the Aussie James Ferguson Reynolds there, number 46. He's more than just a mullet. He's a man that reaches into his own pocket and gives back every punt inside the 20. He's making his own donation of $20 to Flock, F-L-O-C-K, Cancer. Mom back in Australia, a cancer survivor. She is doing well. Boise State is doing well as well after that punt. We're back third quarter, 20-14. Broncos now on defense as Oregon will start on the ground with Jordan James. That's what they needed with a nice run over the left side. The tackle by Jeremiah Irby as the Ducks try, Emroth, to get something going on the ground.
Yeah, it looked like they took Dan Lanning's words to heart. Getting the football on the edge of this Boise State defense. You see big 76. Big Josh Connolly out there leading the way for Jordan James.
The left tackle as Gabriel play fake. He's going to run this time and slide. Flag, crowd wants one. Tubner hit him. Gabriel slow to get up.
I see Dylan trying to get the flag right there. I think that might have been a late slide, and Tubner may have already been in his tackling motion. Yeah, but it is helmet to helmet.
As Gabriel was sliding, he gets protection as a quarterback here when sliding, and now referee Chris Coit is going to stop the game and look at a potential targeting on Seaside Oregon native, the walk-on Alexander Tubner. They showed it here, M-Rob, on the big board at Autzen. And when they did, you heard the reaction from the crowd. Let's bring in our officiating expert here, Reggie Smith. What'd you see, Reg?
What we're looking here is for any forcible contact to that head neck area. As you mentioned, Mike, the quarterback began a late slide, which doesn't matter. The onus is still on number 34 to avoid forceful. You do see him coming in an attack when he lowers his helmet. However, this is a glancing blow and not one, in my opinion, that is forceful enough for this to be created targeting by replay.
Reggie, are we thinking here, do you think that the 6 inches, the radius, the crown of the helmet here was used by Tubner?
This may fall into that area deemed to be the crown. However, the component that's necessary to create a foul would be the forcible contact. I just don't see this as forcible to me. This is more glancing. I don't believe replay should create this foul. Initially, it looked like a good no call on the field.
And our referee Chris Coit, formerly of the Pac-12, moved to the, I beg your pardon, moved to the Big Ten.
After review, targeting, defense number 34, 15-yard penalty, 1st and 10. Number 34 is disqualified for the remainder of the game.
So Tubner is disqualified, and that is a 15-yard penalty. He doesn't have to go to the locker room, but he must go to the sideline.
Andrew, that's a big loss for this Boise State defense. I believe he's the green dot guy. He's the guy that we're in the communication.
He is, M-Rob, and again, local kid, walk-on. The guy that pounded the table for Spencer Danielson to get hired full-time. He was the interim head coach a year ago, a huge part of keeping this locker room and this team together in the offseason. And now Spencer Tubner is going to have to watch the rest of this game from the sideline as the ball is now just shy of the 40, and Oregon gets into the big game. Flags out. James tripped up. That is a touchdown saving tackle, but there's a flag all the way back to the line of scrimmage.
Offense number 55, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
The left guard, Marcus Harper, flagged for holding.
And it was a good tackle by Zion Washington, the boundary safety. As you can see right here, see Marcus Harper with the little bit of a hole right there, taking.
That's a takedown right there.
Taking the linebacker down to the ground.
Taking up Braxton Feely, and now penalties on consecutive plays by this Boise State defense. Or rather, penalty on the defense, and now a penalty here, beg your pardon. Andrew, Oregon takes it back the other way. Another nice gain on the ground by Jordan James. So Dan Lanning, as Laura told us on the sideline, hammered it into his team in the locker room. You got to run the ball. You got to stop the run. And Jordan James with a couple of nice pickups here on Oregon's opening drive in the 3rd.
Yeah, some nice runs, but they're challenging the edges of this Boise State defense, getting away from the strength. Herbert Gums, Braxton Feely, getting away from those defensive tackles.
It's a gain of 10 to get back the penalty yardage to bring up 2nd and 10. And now Noah Whittington, who is less than a year removed from a major knee injury, an ACL a year ago, came back inside of a year, played in the opener last week, had 14 carries for 33 yards. Return to play, one thing. Return to performance, another thing. Trying to get that burst back. Carry for 2. 3rd and 8.
He's the speed in the backfield for this Oregon Ducks offense. Jordan James more of the power.
Whittington was motioning left and now back in the backfield. Terrence Ferguson, the tight end, hand down. Left of the formation. Catch and a slant and a go. That's going to be a touchdown. Meet me in the end zone. Trayshawn Holden, 59 yards.
Touchdown, Trayshawn Holden. Great throw. Great protection from this offensive line of the Oregon Ducks. An even better finish by Trayshawn as he sprints into the end zone and adds some electricity to this stadium.
Evan Stewart had the explosive back in the first half to set up an Oregon touchdown. Here's another explosive, something they lacked so badly a week ago. But afterwards, the extra point by Sappington is off the right upright. So Oregon gets to the end zone but fails to take the lead. We're tied at 20 after Dylan Gabriel hits Trayshawn Holden, breaks a tackle, and races with Tez Johnson to the end zone. "59 yards, Trayshawn Holden, an explosive M-Rob. That's what they needed.
Yeah, they definitely needed. This offensive line blocked everything up front. Look at all of the defenders. This is what you call a zero blitz, right? I got that cat, I got that cat, I got that cat, right? All out blitz. And again, Dylan Gabriel stands in the pocket strong. When you get a defense like this, it's one broken tackle and you hit your head on the goalpost. High five from Tez Johnson. Great play.
Trayshawn Holden racing with Tez Johnson into the end zone. Also known, that all-out blitz, that zero blitz, as a casino blitz. In other words, you gamble and you may lose. They gambled, Boise State did, and Oregon won the hand.
And they lost. And again, here's that broken tackle. Coach Lanning told us this week, I need guys to break tackles. We want to get our guys in space. They're going to challenge
Offside
us.
kicking team number 13. 5-yard penalty will be added to the touchback spot. It's 1st and 10.
All right, so move it up 5.
Okay. Good. But again, when you have that zero blitz, man, you're taking that gamble. Just like you said, Andrew, that casino blitz, one missed tackle, and it's 6.
As Boise State comes down, now tied at 20 after the missed extra point. Ashton Genty in the backfield. Speaking of the casinos, he couldn't even speak at Mountain West Media Day in Vegas because he is only 20, and it was in a 21 and only hotel in Vegas. They had to find a different spot for Genty to meet the media as The man who was second to the nation a year ago in yards from scrimmage. Here he loses yards, hit a couple of times behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, there's the kid Brandon Johnson again, a safety getting into the backfield of Boise State. Dan Lanning came out of halftime saying we have to run the football and stop the run. It looks like if Boise State wants to move the football, quarterback Madsen is going to have to make some plays with his arm.
As Lanning and Tosh Lupoy bring in pressure from the secondary there to try to stop the run. It's a loss of 2. Lauder now in motion. Madsen almost picked off. Jordan Birch had clear sailing if the big man could bring it down.
Big time play recognition by this kid Jordan Birch, the 6'6", 290-pound senior out of South Carolina. He sees Jeanty starts to peel off. He stays with him, almost gets the interception. You look at it right here. That would have been a walk in the end zone for Jordan Birch. Good play.
How about the defensive lineman in coverage on one of the best backs in America? Now it's 3rd and 12. Crowd gets loud. Madsen lofting, left sideline. Knocked away, incomplete. Strawn had it, but he was bobbling it. And it's 4th down. The Oregon defense gets off the field.
Strawn was bobbling that, but that was a great catch. I'm sorry. I know he was out of bounds, but look at the concentration. He thought he got 1 foot in. He thought he got 1 foot in. Great effort.
Only need 1 in college. Strawn got the right foot down. Ruling, however, was didn't have possession. He was bobbling that football. Now James Ferguson Reynolds on the punt, put the last one inside the 20. This one, a low line drive, again inside the 20. Tez is going to let it roll out of bounds. Thought it was out of bounds. He's going to pick it up. Yep, out of bounds right there at the 4. So another great job on the low bouncing kick by the Australian punter to pin Oregon deep. We have got a game. 8:06 remaining in the 3rd, tied at 20. The Voice is back with two iconic new coaches. Snoop Dogg and Michael Bublé challenge Gwen Stefani and reigning champion Reba McEntire. September 23rd, NBC and Peacock. The Voice. Boise State challenging Oregon here. 2020, that is James Ferguson Reynolds, the Aussie punter who donates $20 to Flock, F-L-O-C-K, Cancer, in honor of his mother, who's a cancer survivor. Every time he puts a punt inside the 20, and he's now done it twice. Number 20, James Jordan, with a nice carry here to open up this drive. Jordan James, beg your pardon. Andrew, not dyslexic. Jordan James with the carry. And Rob, they opened the last drive with James on the ground. They do it again. It's a gain of 10 as it was to open the last drive.
Yeah, this kid's running hard tonight. Again, when he first bounced that last run play, I thought he was going to get himself in trouble because he was close to the end zone. But showed great short area quickness and burst when he got into the hole. Got an explosive run.
Jordan James, 11 carries, 70 yards here, even though Oregon is only 52 yards rushing as a team. That's because that man, Dylan Gabriel, has been sacked 4 times. Gabriel hands it again to James. Big hole. James down the sideline. That's another nice run, but there's a flag back on the 12. Tackle by Marco Notariani.
I think Sadiq got somebody on that one.
Holding. Offense, number 72. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
That is Pancho Lalulu, the guard who finished last year at center when Jackson Powers Johnson didn't play in the bowl game.
Let me check out this hole right here from Big Pancho as he's trying to fight to get to the outside of the defensive tackle right there. Just had a grip of the shoulder pad, can't do that.
That is Herbert Gums, the 6'1", 312-pound defensive tackle wearing 98. We see him on offense sometimes. Kenyon Sadiq, number 18, goes in motion, the tight end. Short gain here on 1st and 17. So Oregon came out, had the big play there to tie it up. Could have taken the lead, but Sappington missed the extra point off the right upright. And here we are, just over halfway through the 3rd quarter. Ahmed Hassanin and this Boise State defense has done a job today. Giving up a couple of explosives. That's why we are tied to try to get off the field here. It is 2nd and 16 after the holding penalty.
Yeah, defense coordinator Eric Shenander, he said he had to cut down on some of the volume. A lot of these guys will play a little faster.
Give to Winnington. He's going to push it across the 10. Make it 3rd and slightly more manageable. Still going to be 3rd and long. Gain of only 3.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what Coach Shenander dials up from this Boise State defense right now. Got a 3rd and long situation. This is the money down. This is the time you got to get off the field on 3rd down. Andrew stay in this game.
Andrew Simpson, number had a sack earlier, number 10. Let's see if they bring the pressure. Oregon's going to run. Not going to do it. And you hear the Autzen crowd voice its displeasure. Oregon now 2 for 8 on 3rd down, and instead of dropping your quarterback back near the goal line, knowing that Boise State has brought the pressure on 3rd down, they just run.
Yeah, that's it's weird to me. I didn't think that they would just run a play like that on 3rd and long. You got one of the top quarterbacks in all of college football. You just gave up something. You just put some explosive plays out there on tape. Thought they would try it.
Ross James from the 2. It will bounce. Take an Oregon bounce. Out of bounds near the 37. So, the Atlantic team goes backwards on that drive. Tied at 20. Atlantic, known to be aggressive. You want to get a good conversation going, ask any Oregon fan about going for it on fourth down about Washington against Washington. But Efron, 3rd and 13 on his 11 moments ago. He decided to just run.
Yeah, it looked like he's trying to play the field position game right now, but I also think he's a little afraid of... Yeah, the fact that he maybe can't protect his Heisman candidate quarterback in Dillon Gabriel.
Gabriel has been sacked 4 times. Didn't want to drop him back and stand him on his goal line. Lamar carried for a couple of yards, and then they punt. And now they try to stop Ashton Jeanty, as he is one of, hands down, the best backs in the nation. Mateo Uiagalelei, brother, Florida State quarterback, from Oregon State quarterback DJ there with the tackle. Justin Jacobs in there as well.
Yeah, Justin Jacobs in there as well. And you have to hit Ashton Jeanty before he gets going through the line of scrimmage. Again, quick penetration is the quickest killer of a run game.
It's a gain of 1. Jeanty at 89 on the night on the ground. Move the pocket. Madsen throwing, knocked down at the 42. No flag.
Great job by Jabbar Muhammad on that play, closing the space between him and the intended receiver. Wow. This kid, again, a transfer from Washington last year, closing in on this football. May have got there.
Early on Bolt, left arm around his helmet. 4:24 remaining. Third quarter. Need 48 to keep this drive alive. Empty backfield. Madsen goes 5 wide. Gun. Flag out. Madsen down the sideline once. Jeanty. He brought it down. Is he in? No. But there is a flag back near the line of scrimmage.
Illegal formation offense, more than 4 players in the backfield. The penalty line, it's 4th down.
They went empty, went 5 wide, but couldn't get lined up right.
Yeah, couldn't get lined up right. That was a good matchup. Ashton Jeanty going up against linebacker Devin Jackson on the outside, who Jackson is probably one of the faster players, not linebackers, but players on this Oregon football team.
Jackson, you could make the argument, might be the fastest linebacker in America. But the 100 and the 200, he is a pretty darn good track athlete and a fast runner. And now the low punt. And Tez Johnson's going to field this one. Brace a tackle. Johnson, a couple of moves. Johnson with some room. He's at the 30. He has blockers. Tez Johnson to the sideline. It's a foot race. And Tez will win. Touchdown. 85 yards.
Touchdown, Tez Johnson. Wow. This stadium has woken up. This kid has been running around trying to get the football all day. Finally makes his play on special teams. It was a low kick. He found some space. And Andrew, when he cut back across the field, all the Oregon Duck fans put their hands up. Touchdown.
Let's see if Sappington now can hit this extra point right down the middle. And number 7, Oregon, jumps back in front. Ty Benefield couldn't make the tackle. Tez Johnson got into space, got his blocks. They were clean. And look at Dan racing him down the sideline.
And Andrew, I'm telling you, right about here, Tez hit another gear, and he completely outran everybody on the special teams for Boise State. This is the speed Dan was telling us about all week. Let's get our speed in space and force Boise State to make tackles. Tez Johnson, one of the best in the country.
Let's go down to the sideline, Laura.
The Boise State sideline, as you might expect, completely different than it was in the first half. I'm walking behind the bench right now. Complete silence from this Boise State team.
Thank you. Laura, you get it. It's not silent in here, however. Boise, as you see Ashton Jeanty, the look on his face says it all, is not in any way out of this game. But the first career punt return for a touchdown like Tez Johnson has swung the momentum here. And as we are 3:57 away from shout and 54,000 coming alive here to open up the fourth quarter, you can see, Emrob, the shift.
Yeah, that play was the turning point thus far in this game. Let's see if Boise State offense can respond.
They'll have to do it after a touchback. 27-23, 57 remaining.
Kicking team number 36. The receiving team will put the ball in play at the 5-yard line. 1st and 10.
Yeah, all right. So, an extra 5 yards there. Time now for your Geico upcoming schedule. Upcoming schedule brought to you by Geico. Looking ahead to next week, Emrob, you're going to be in Champaign.
Yes, I will be in Champaign. That's going to be a good game.
Illini against Central Michigan. That's a noon Eastern kick. Got the Apple Cup, 3:30 Eastern time on Peacock, and then under the lights at the Rose Bowl. Doesn't get much better than that. Big Ten College Countdown coverage at 7, Indiana and UCLA. Now from the 35 after the penalty on the kickoff. Sire Gaines into the game. The freshman running back, Madsen, time to throw over the middle, knocked away. Kobe Savage, he wanted Bolt, but the safety was all over him.
Yeah, wanted Bolt right there. Madsen trying to force the ball in the middle of this Oregon defense. But again, this is a running team at Boise State, so play action pass has to show up if you want to throw the football. Just being a straight drop back passing team is not the situation this Boise State offense wants to be in.
Madsen open 12 and 19. He is 1 for 10 since then. 82 Ben Ford is in motion there in the backfield. Gaines on the carry. Gaines, he's got some leg drive. Gets a good 5 yards with Tysheem Johnson on top of him.
Yeah, that's some good leg drive right there. Tysheem Johnson there on the tackle. Jeffrey Bassa is there on the tackle as well. Look at the first half comparison to the second half, right? A complete flip of yardage for Boise State. Oregon and their offense starting to wake up.
This crowd has awakened as well. 3rd and 5. Yellow line next to the yellow O on the field at the 45. Play clock winding down. Madsen barely gets it off. Gives to Jeanty. Turn to the quarter. Ashton Jeanty. First down after the 48. Jeffrey Bassa chasing him over there. But one of the best backs in the nation gets enough for the first down.
Yeah, one of the top backs in the nation again. Look at this stiff arm, guys. This is an outside run, trying to find a lane. There's he using that stiff arm again. Again, always falling forward. Gets the first down.
Jeanty is 98. Now Madsen, deep shot, one strong. Can't connect at the 5.
It's a good throw by Madsen right there. Quinn Strong trying to get the big explosive play. Trying to go over the top of this Oregon defense. Kobe Savage right there on the coverage. Just a little overthrown. Maddox Madsen right there. You wish Strong would have laid out for that one. Strong benches.
Strong from the Bahamas. His brother Michael, former 7th round pick of the Colts, also a wide receiver. Could not come down to that one. 2nd down. Give to Gaines. Boise goes back to what it does well, and you see there Bassa punching on that football. When Gaines was down to the ground, we saw Tosh Lupoy, the defensive coordinator for the Ducks during the timeout, making that motion to his team, saying, go get that ball.
Absolutely, attacking the football again in moments like this, right? Boise State is down. They've had some issues trying to move the football. Now is the perfect time to go attack the football. You look at Maddox Madsen, his second half numbers, Not good, Andrew.
1 for 9. Now 3rd and 7. Madsen, clean pocket, caught. Caples has it, and that's a first down. Caples inside the 40, and Brandon Johnson had him around the ankles, or Caples could have had clear sailing down the sideline.
Yeah, that could have been a touchdown. Tosh Lapoe again. All of these guys are going to be rushing the quarterback. Zero coverage again. One-on-one across the board.
And now the fake pitch to Genty, and a dangerous throw, just kind of lofting it into the flat there to Caples. Bryce Betcher up there for the tackle, and Caples gets up and puts that left hand near his right shoulder. He will go to the sideline.
Yeah, Bryce Betcher right there again, an aggressive tackle on that play right there. It's always around the football.
Sorry, Emron coming up on 1 minute remaining here in the 3rd. 2nd down. Madsen taking another shot. Incomplete. Coverage there by Nico Reed. It's 9 on 9 again. Camper, who had a touchdown earlier, the intended receiver.
Yeah, Camper right there. Transfer out of Indiana University. Somebody on Twitter got at me. I must have said it wrong earlier, Andrew. Had to fix it there, but Cam has been a huge part of this offense tonight. Again, Nico Reed on the coverage, who also had a great interception of himself last week.
Exactly. To end the game in the 4th quarter here for the Ducks. 3rd down, look out, pressure for the backside. A low throw, and it's caught. It's caught, and that's going to be enough for a first down. Prince Strachan says that way.
You see Boise State hurrying up to get on the football.
Gain of 11, and they're going quick.
Before the referees can take a look at the pass.
Oregon looking to his sideline. The Oregon defenders looking at the sideline with their arms out, saying, help us out here. We think that hit the ground. And eventually, Chris Coy, our referee, stepped in and said, let's take a second look.
Let's take a look at this right here. Madsen throws a good football, throwing it away from the defenders. Yeah, that ball hit the ground. Went through Prince Strachan's hands right there.
Let's go to Reggie Smith, our officiating analyst. Beg your pardon. Reggie, what do you say?
Just like you guys saw, this is an incomplete pass. The ball skipped off the ground. Hopefully this is one instant replay can make quick work of it.
And this one should be an easy review as Coit looks at the monitor and confers back in Rosemont, as we see on the left side of the screen. Suburban Chicago right by O'Hare. Collaborative replay review here. Pretty clearly that thing hit the ground.
Yeah, I think it hit the ground as well. Let's check it out right
After review, the pass is incomplete. It's 4th down.
All right, so 4th down. Jonah Dalmas, career long, is 56 yards. And Dalmas is going to come out there. This ball is spotted on the 37. It's a 55-yard try unofficially for Jonah Dalmas, just one shy of his career long. This is to get the Broncos to within 3. Dalmas from 55 has enough leg, but it's no good. The all-time leading scorer in Mountain West history cannot connect there on what is officially a 54-yard field goal try. And with 22 seconds remaining here before shout at the end of the 3rd, Oregon takes over.
Yeah, Oregon takes over. This defense held strong. Again, attacking the football in the ball carrier's arms, sending 0 blitzes, trying to dictate action and force mistakes from this Boise State offense. See what Dylan Gabriel and this Oregon offense can do.
See what they can do. Take it over 37-yard line. Whittington, little cutback, finds a hole, takes it up 5 yards there on 1st out across the 40-yard line. And that should wind the clock down. Although there's a Boise State player down the quarter. It's Ahmed shanking up in the first quarter. He is down again, but getting up and walking there to the sideline. Number 7 Oregon has retaken the lead, leading 27-0 over the upstart Boise State Broncos. 15 minutes of football remaining here at Autzen with the Ducks trying to go to 2-0. Welcome back. Big Ten Saturday on Peacock, presented by Geico. One of, hands down, the greatest traditions in all of college football. End of the third quarter here at Autzen Stadium. Otis Day and the Knights shout. And that third quarter been so good to Oregon here tonight. Outscoring Boise State 12-0 in the third to take the lead 27-20. The number 7 team of the nation now trying to rally and continue the longest home winning streak against non-conference opponents in America. Jordan Whittington with a good start to this drive. Moving the chains for 11.
Yeah, that was some tough yards right there for Noah Whittington. Again, he's the speed in the backfield, but he does a great job right there, getting behind those big guys right there, running through arm tackles and getting positive yards.
Beg your pardon, it's a gain of 8, but it's enough for a first down. Now the throw over the middle by Gabriel. That's caught by Trayshawn Holden with a long touchdown early.
Now you can see this Oregon offense getting in a little tempo. They see that they have this Boise State defense and defensive line kind of on their heels. They don't want them to get their calls from the sideline. They want to keep them in the defense that they have them in.
so they can push the ball downfield.
And they can keep this defense on its toes. 2nd and 2, gain of 8, a minute into the 4th quarter. Look out, Gabriel out of a set. Now he's going to run. Dylan Gabriel's got some wheels. He turns what could have been the 5th sack of the night for this Boise defense into a first down run to the 35 and a gain of 9.
Wow, great job by Dylan Gabriel. We all knew that he had scramble ability, but I didn't know that he was fearless like this as well. Looked like another lefty that played in the Bay Area, Steve Young a little bit, but does a great job again, and then getting down, doesn't take a big hit. In positive yards.
Jaden Virgin Morgan to the backfield could not wrap up. Now Gabriel the play fake and throw to the outside. Patrick Herbert, ball's out, ball's loose. Boise State falls on it. Is it a catch and a fumble? Yes, it is.
Big time tackle, Zion Washington. Boundary safety comes up, lays the wood.
And Marco Notriani with the recovery.
See Dylan right here on the RPO. Watch Zion putting his face mask right where the ball is. Pops the ball out. It's a big time tackle right there on a big tight end. See Big Marco with the recovery. Boise State, they're back in it.
Absolutely. Zion Washington, who's wearing the green dot now, getting the defensive signals after Alexander Tubner, the Oregon native, was disqualified for targeting earlier. And now after the fumble by Herbert, 30-yard line. Boise is going to set up shop. Give to Genty. Ashton Genty breaks free. Genty. Gone. 70 yards.
Wow. The top running back in all of college football, Ashton Genty, will not let the Boise State offense, will not let these guys fall back. Look at that cut. And right here, I questioned his long speed. I do not question his long speed anymore. Running away from the Oregon defensive backs. Wow.
2nd touchdown of the night for a Heisman hopeful. And Dalma's extra point has tied this game. There's something to shout about if you're a Bronco fan. Ashton Genty has 166 yards on the ground. This offense had done nothing in the 2nd half. This ain't nothing. We are tied 27 all. You're looking at the best running back in America through 2 weeks of college football. His name is Ashton Jeanty. He ran for 267. Those are real numbers last week. Tonight he has 168 yards and 2 scores. He has 8 touchdowns through 7+ quarters of football. And we are tied at 27 as Whittington is going to field this inside the 5. Oregon running back at the 20. 25-30. Flag is out. And Whittington out of bounds. Nice return. 35-yard line thereabouts. But again, there's a flag.
These flags are. Whittington has some space.
Chris Coit.
During the return, holding receiving team number 17. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So Kyler Casper called for the hold. Last week, Ashton Jeanty Emrob had a 75-yard touchdown, a 77-yard touchdown. This is a 70-yard score.
Yeah, I mean, it totally split this Oregon defense right down the middle. You see the wham block by the tight end coming across. Opens up the middle of this defense. But Ashton Jeanty, I like the dance. Out of running backs, gotta love it.
Jeanty, after his first score last week, 77 yards, struck a Heisman pose. And the eventual win over Georgia Southern. He was asked afterwards, as we see Dan Lanning on the sideline, his team now tied, 13 minutes to go. Jeanty was asked, did you do that on purpose? Was it planned? Was that the idea when you scored? He said yes, he planned it. And he might be able to plan a trip to New York. I know it's early here, only a couple of weeks in. James opens up this Oregon drive again, as they have in the third quarter and fourth quarter, second half, with good pickups. It is early, and Jeanty's not focused on the Heisman tonight, but he is absolutely very much in that conversation.
Definitely in the conversation. The thought is he could possibly run for 2,000 yards. But, I mean, after the start, after the last couple of weeks, I definitely think he can get it done.
As
ball out.
Another fumble. Boise State's on top of it. Wait for the call. Benefield.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down.
For the second straight possession, Oregon has given it up.
Yeah, I don't think Dillon was ready for the snap right here. Charlie Pickard snapped the ball before Dillon was ready. Dillon tried to just get back to the line of scrimmage. But as you can see, the ball awareness from Andrew Simpson punching that football out.
And Benefield falling on top of it. Dan Lanning's team falling apart here on these last 2 drives. Herbert a fumble. Gabriel a fumble after he wasn't ready for the snap from the walk-on center. And now Madsen throws to the boundary. Camper with that catch, and he is down once that knee is down. And they're on the 18-yard line. And Boise State, Emrob, is in the red zone.
Yeah, Boise State's in the red zone. They're about to be in the green zone, meaning inside the 10-yard line. But when you have a running back like Ashton Jeanty, again, whenever you turn around to make the motion to hand the football off, all 11 eyeballs on the defense, they freeze, they stop. They worry about a physical altercation with Ashton Jeanty.
The momentum swings in this game have been wild. Jeanty with the carry. That's going to be a first down. Just shy of the 10-yard line. And now Boise is threatening after the gain of 6. They can't get a first down here without getting into the end zone. Jeanty over, bigger pardon, Emrob, do the math. They're over 400 yards rushing already.
Yes. That is
Through
crazy.
these 2 weeks, not
just
tonight.
2 weeks.
That would
just
be impressive.
2 weeks.
Regardless, impressive.
Very
He's at
nice.
174 now. Strawn in motion. Give to Jeanty. Patient in the backfield. Finding a hole and pushing forward for a couple of yards.
Again, a patient runner, understands tempo to the hole, acceleration through. Run a little bit of a gap scheme right there. Whenever you see a bunch of pullers, Jeanty does a good job of just hiding behind those big guys, finding his space and exploding into the second level. Again, a tough tackle.
Ran into the 320-pound wall that is Amari Washington, number 52. 2nd and 6. Genty, straight up the middle. Genty spinning. Genty still on his feet to the goal line. Put him up. Touchdown.
Touchdown, Ashton Genty. He's showing the world all of the tools. You see him right there. Just dragging defenders into the end zone. Ashton Genty being the best player on the football field.
Before Dalmas is able to kick the extra point. Did Genty get across the goal line with that football before his knee or elbow was down?
Yeah, let's see. He's falling forward, surging toward the goal line. I think that's 6, Andrew.
Is that knee or shin down? Reggie Smith, our officiating analyst, what do you see?
I'm seeing a hard time finding indisputable evidence that would show otherwise. At this angle, it appears we can't see the ball, but we can piece together when the ball carrier might be down. And whether it's from this angle or the reverse angle, it's really hard to see, where he may be down and the location of the ball. It perhaps should be a stand here, in my opinion.
And Reggie, you said piece together. In Rosemont, they can't take different angles here and try to create a bigger picture.
Correct, Andrew. What they're looking to do when I say piece it together is take an angle where they can clearly see a body part down and compare that with various
After review,
angles.
the ruling of a touchdown stands.
And that's the right decision in this case.
All right, Reggie, thank you. 3rd touchdown of the night for Ashton Genty. 9 touchdowns already. And we're not done with week 2. And these Boise State Broncos are not done either. 10:15 remaining in the 4th quarter, looking to go up 7 now.
I mean, Ui Ungalale was on his back, and Genty carried him into the end zone.
He is that strong. And this would be that big for Boise State if they can pull off the stunner. Herbert with the fumble. And then another one. Gabriel, the fumble. Genty gives Boise the lead. 70-yarder there.
Boise State with a 7-point lead in the fourth quarter after 2 costly turnovers from Oregon. I just walked behind the Oregon benches and I saw Dillon Gabriel getting his right hand worked on by 2 trainers. They kept patting it with a towel. It appears he has a cut on his right hand, Andrew.
All right, Laura, thank you for that. Something to look for and keep an eye on here as Dillon Gabriel's going to have to rally his team. 34-27, 10-15 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Gabriel last week banged his left hand, his throwing hand, on a follow-through. Showed it this week to us on Friday, said he's good to go, and he does not seem to have an issue with it. But there's an issue here as Whittington breaks free. Noah Whittington, the 20, far side 10. Bam! 100-yard kickoff return. Wow. You having fun yet?
Yeah, Andrew. Whoa. Noah Whittington.
You don't need the quarterback to throw the football when you get that.
You definitely don't. With a burst of speed, he runs into one of his blockers, cuts back across the field, and it's pay dirt after that.
Guy had a major knee injury not even a year ago, the 23rd of September. Noah Whittington looks like he's back.
He's under review. The runner may have let the ball go prior to crossing the goal line plane.
Oh boy, let's look at it again. Tez Johnson had an 85-yard punt return. Whittington for now a 100-yard kick return. But Chris Coy wants to take a second look. Did he carry it all the way across the goal line? Or, Emrod, did he drop it?
Oh, that's close. I gotta
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It's a touchdown.
Oh, wow.
That's as close as you're going to get.
That's very close.
And that was a very quick review.
He was letting that ball go before his toes crossed the line.
Oh, man.
I know it's about the ball breaking the plane. Wow.
Kids, friendly reminder. Carry that football in to the end zone. And now Sappington, who missed one earlier, nails this. Back and forth we go. 34 with 9:59 that lives up to the last couple of minutes. Undoubtedly, amazing action remaining.
This cutback right here is where he really turned on the burners. You see his stride length get a little bit longer. And you see Evan Jackson right there caught up with him, passed him, and still blocked somebody. Just explosive playmakers in space. And that's been the difference so far.
And remember, Jackson's a sprinter, runs the 100, runs the 200, and there, helping Whittington run 100 on the return.
Man, it's got to feel good for that kid. As you said, Andrew, coming back off an injury, second game back in the end zone.
It's one thing to return to play. It's another thing, and I'm going to quote Sean McVay, head coach of the Los Angeles Rams here. It's another thing to return to performance.
Absolutely.
Noah Whittington returned to play last week. Tonight, he returned to performance.
And you can tell, like, the way the sideline just erupted and gave this kid all the congratulations. That's what the team sport is all about.
Whittington, the transfer from Western Kentucky, the redshirt junior, 5'8", 207, showing the speed is back on that 100-yard return. 2 special teams touchdowns tonight for the Ducks. We are tied 34-34. 33 is the magic number as well for Oregon. 33 consecutive wins at home against non-conference opponents. Trying to keep that alive.
Absolutely. Let's see if this Oregon defense can control the line of scrimmage and stop the best back in the country, Ashton Gentry.
Play fake to that back. And now Madsen with pressure on, throws over the head of Caples and throws it away. Second down.
Second down, little play action pass right there. Oregon defensive backs doing a great job keeping their eyes on their luggage. That's what we like to say on the defensive side of the football. Staying with their receivers no matter where the quarterback goes. If I'm Boise, I want to get the ball back to number 2, Ashton Jeanty.
As we see number 9, Nico Reed. Jeanty in the backfield. The tight end Lauder to the right of the formation. Madsen claps the hands. Gives it to Jeanty. 2 arms on that football as he powers forward to the 28. Kobe Savage among a group there. Betcher as well, and Birch of Oregon tacklers.
And that's what Tosh Lapoi told us this week. He wants to see 5, 6, 7 defenders in every frame tackling the ball carrier. He told us they had a tackling plan for Ashton Jeanty because the kid is such a dynamic runner. They had to have a plan about how to bring him down.
3rd and 7. Madsen fires low near the 35. Is that a catch? Yes, it is. Move the chains. Cam Camper, who scored earlier, with the catch for a first down and a gain of 9.
It's a good route by Cam Camper. He's so quiet at the top of his routes. You see Boise back on the ball.
Back on the ball quickly. And now the ball back on the ground with a flag out as well.
Five-yard penalty, first down.
From Wesleyan High School here in Oregon, Zach Holmes filling in at center tonight for the injured Mason Randolph, who was out with a biceps injury suffered last week.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to go tempo right there and then go with a quick count. Again, a new center in. It's tough to do those in this loud environment.
Spencer Danielson's team has thrown punches all night. Now tied. 1st and 15. Madsen all kinds of time. Madsen, dangerous throw, knocked away. That's Jeffrey Bassa, the linebacker there with a hand on it.
It's a great play by Jeffrey Bassa right there. Just being in space, there he is. Again, forcing the quarterback to throw the football over his head. Trying to clear it right here. My teleprompter's a little messed up, but it's all good. It's all good. Great play by Jeffrey Bassa.
Telestrator, teleprompter, this one not going by the script here. Emerald. As Boise will run after Bassa made that nice play on 2nd and 15, trying to make it 3rd and manageable. And a couple of yards back to make it 3rd and around 12.
Big time 3rd down play right here for this Boise State offense. Haven't been great in the 3rd and long category. Let's see what Dirk Cutter has in store.
9 of 17 on 3rd down. Madsen is Jeanty next to him. Madsen is pressure up the middle. He's going to step up and get brought down. Birch and Tuioti, and it's 4th down.
Jordan Birch, great job with his effort, rushing the passer, doing his counter move, some games up front. Madsen trying to stay strong in the pocket. See Jordan Birch on his retrace, almost got the football out right there as he's attacking the football in Madsen's hands.
And now it's punt. Holds. Stands back on his 18-yard line. Tez Johnson had an 85-yarder earlier for a touchdown. That's officially a sack for Birch. We're having some technical issues here. Apologies for those, and thank you for sticking with us here. This is a good one. 34 all, 6:56 left. First time in 23 years as we're 34 all that Oregon's got a kick return and a punt return for a touchdown. There was a question, did Noah Whittington drop that ball before he crossed the goal line? Reggie Smith tells us that after consulting with the Big Ten officiating center, the answer is yes, he did, but it was immediately picked up by a teammate in the end zone, and that is why the 100-yard return stood. 6:56 remaining now as we are back underway. And Stewart, who had a touchdown earlier, has this catch from Gabriel. And he gets decent yardage to open up this drive as we are coming up on 6:40 remaining in the fourth quarter.
So, Andrew, it was a 99.5-yard return with a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Is that how it goes?
Evidently. Evidently.
Oh, man.
As Gabriel snaps, throws low, caught. Terrence Ferguson haven't called his name much tonight. Heck of a tight end with his second catch on the night. And that's going to be a first down to the 40-yard line. 100 career receptions now for the veteran tight end, Terrence Ferguson.
Yeah, offense coordinator Will Stein said this is an explosive player, matchup nightmare. He's going to get him the ball even more.
He had 7 for 87 a week ago. And now the end around. James on the carry.
James carries.
Stays in bounds. Clock is winding.
Stays in bounds. Clock is winding. You see Ty Benefield on that tackle.
We got a flag, Emron.
Another flag.
Illegal shift. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
It was the little things on offense. Illegal shifts. Holding. Not being able to get lined up right last week. That was the downfall of this Oregon offense overall. That's why it wasn't a bigger win. It was a 10-point win over Idaho. They still won and racked up the yardage here. But they got to get those little things right here in a tie game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, got to get the little things right as they're trying to work on their offense and get this offense to a championship level. They know they have their quarterback. They're working on this offensive line. Got the skill guys.
Oh, the flip to James. A little trickery here, and that's not going to work. Nice. Amarian McCoy drills James in the backfield as it's almost like a little hook and ladder behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it was a little hook and ladder right there. Again, a little throw right there.
Johnson to James.
Tej Johnson flips it to Jordan James. You just wonder, does Oregon feel like they need to do trick plays?
Interesting. Gabriel now has time to throw. Gabriel takes a shot, misses it downfield. Oh, man, that was close. He wanted Stewart, and if he hit him, he'd still be running.
Yeah, just missed this explosive connection. These guys have been explosive all night. Evan Stewart has been the #1 receiver for Oregon all night. Again, good route, widens the corner, takes it back up inside. Dillon just put a little bit too much on it. Right off his fingertips.
He blew right by Devon Banks, who played Boise last year when he was at UW, but they couldn't connect. Now Gabriel wants Holman! Again! They can't connect on a deep shot.
Got behind Ty Benefield right there. You see Trayshawn Holden a little upset because he knew he had a wide open touchdown. Would have been touchdown #2 for him. Just outside of his outstretched arms.
And Oregon is 2 for 9 on 3rd down tonight. Had 2 would-be big plays. 2 plays in which they could still be running for scores. But Gabriel could not connect with Stewart and then Holden. And now Ross James is on to punt. Short one. Gonna let it bounce. And now Caples picks it up off that bounce after it took a Oregon bounce, and he's going to slide down to the 22-yard line. 33 consecutive is the number here. 33 straight. Michael Robinson at home for Oregon against non-conference opponents. Utah, Penn State also on that list. Your Nittany Lions survived today against Bowling Green. Michigan came into the day #4 on this list. They got worked by Texas.
Worked is a kind word.
Genty's been doing work. He's 9 yards away from 200 in the backfield. Madsen maybe changing the play, shifts his back. Crowd making noise. Play clock under 10, give to Genty, who lowers his shoulder. See that a lot from a 5'9" running back seeking out contact, and he gets 5 yards on first down to the 27.
He's so good with his eyes. He always finds the apex of the push, meaning he always finds the little soft space in the inside running lanes that not a lot of running backs can even see. This kid sees it, he feels it, and he's quick enough and powerful enough to get into those holes.
Officially a gain of 4, 2nd and 6. They're going to empty out the backfield, 5 wide for Madsen. Madsen fires to his tight end, and that one's knocked away. Wanted Lauder. Betcher, the center fielder for the Astros one day, breaks it up.
Good job by Bryce Betcher right here. Just doing a good job being in the right place, attacking the football as the football arrives to Matt Lauder. Just a little basic stick route. It's good defense.
As we're under 4 minutes to go, we should note each team has its full 3 timeouts up on the scoreboard. 2-minute timeout coming up as well. On third down with pressure coming. Can't connect with Caples. Johnson on the coverage. Punt time.
One time, some man coverage. It was man-free coverage right there. You see your man going motion for Boise State that tells Madsen all he needs to know. But just if he could have put this ball a little bit more outside, maybe he gives his wide receiver, Latrell Caples, a chance.
Nice job by Johnson knocking that down. A nice job by Jordan Birch getting his hands up and not following through and hitting the quarterback up high. As James Ferguson Reynolds is back to punt. The Aussie with a boot towards the sideline. Tez Johnson, who had the 85-yard return earlier, calls the fair catch near the 33. Let's go back to Oregon's last offensive drive. They tried the little trick play here, Rob, a hook and ladder, if you will, in the backfield.
Yeah, I don't quite get the play call. I mean, hey, they may have seen something, but if you can get looks like this, you can just drop back and you can just run your normal offense. Just go execute and complete it and just finish the play if you're Oregon. And so the trick plays, to me, I just don't get.
Gabriel last week was 41 of 49. Tonight he's 14 of 17. With time early, he was carving up this defense. He had time to hit those explosives, and he couldn't. Sadiq's in motion to the top of your screen. The tight end from the state of Idaho takes that, has blockers. Kenyon Sadiq breaks free. That's a nice gain for Oregon to near midfield and a first down.
You see Big Sheldon Newton, defensive tackle for Boise State on the tackle. Big guy getting out in space and running, 6'3", 320 pounds.
We have a flag here.
Kenyon Sadiq right there, the athletic tight end. Again, a quick pass for Dylan Gabriel. Just get the ball out of his hands. Get your big guys in space. Those offensive linemen blocking corners and defensive backs. It's a good play.
And you got a 320-pound defensive lineman coming down there and making the tackle. There was no timeout, but they're going to back this one up and spot it near the 46 as James gets hit in the hole there by Marco Notriani.
It's a good tackle by Notriani right there.
Because there was some space if he got through.
Yes, it was. Jordan James, a real quick guy in small spaces. Usually he makes guys miss right there. Notriani, that's a good tackle.
He gets by Notriani, has some room to run. Gain of 2. Under 3 minutes to go. Gabriel, a little check down there. Holden with the catch, close to a first down. Not going to be enough, however. Oladipo with the tackle.
Trayshawn Holden has done a good job tonight, obviously in the touchdown and being explosive and getting open on the deeper patterns, but just being available for Dillon Gabriel, having a big body, being open for him.
Dan Lanning told us yesterday that they opened practice this week with a 4th and 1 drill. Can you get a yard? Right, because in short yardage last week they had issues. Here it's 3rd and 1. Can you get a yard here to keep this drive alive? Patrick Herbert in motion. The tight end lines up on the left. Now Tez Johnson. Motion to the right as we are at the 2-minute timeout. Big 3rd and 1 coming up for Dan Lanning's Oregon Ducks, the number 7 team of the nation, tied at home. What does Dan Lanning and his offensive coordinator Will Stein draw up back from the 2-minute timeout? A 3rd and 1 Michael Robinson tie game plus 45.
If I'm Will Stein right now, I'm doing a play that gets to the edge, right? Jordan James has found some space on the edge, or if I'm not putting the ball in his hands on the edge, I'm doing some type of read option to give Dillon Gabriel an opportunity to run the football.
Tight end Ferguson in motion. Now he's under center, backs away, give it to James. Now throw it to Ferguson on the play fake. And Ferguson's going to get the first down. A little bit of trickery there. Ferguson, the tight end, was under center, backed away. Then a play fake and then a throw to that tight end.
That was a lot of work for, what, 2 yards?
Yeah, well said.
A lot of work, a lot of trickery. You see Ferguson get under center, then he leaks back out with a little pick play from Trayshawn Holden.
Jeremiah Irby the tackle. Gabriel deep again. End zone incomplete. Wait for the flag. There it is. Holden, the intended receiver, with the flag dropped on the 1-yard line.
I think they may have gotten Jeremiah Irby pass interference. And not
pass interference. Defense number 6. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
They get Irby. Remember, not a spot foul. This is in the NFL. It's 15 yards. They're holding hands running down the field.
Can't do that. He's holding the receiver's hands. He's getting into the body of Trayshawn Holden. Never look back for the football. Yeah, that's pass interference.
Just holding hands on a Saturday night. And now the run and a spin. Hit the spin button. James gets close to 8 yards after the holding of hands. Granted, then there was a lot more contact. Clearly drawing the flag. And now Boise State with 1:20 to go is going to use its first time out. That is the kicker. The transfer from Oregon State, Atticus Sappington. He missed an extra point earlier. And we're tied at 34 because of it. His career long is 48. They are inside of that range right now. They're on the 22. So from here, it's a 40-yard attempt, but you don't want to leave it to your kicker.
Absolutely. You don't want to leave it to your kicker. You want to get as close as you possibly can. I'm sure Dylan Gabriel and Dan Lanning and those guys, I'm sure they want to score touchdowns. But you also want to take some time off the clock as well. You're in the scoring zone, and you want to leave as less time as possible for Ashton Jeanty, Maddox Madsen, and this Boise State offense to go down the field.
You want to run the football and make Boise burn some timeouts, but you also
Absolutely.
want to get in the end zone. Can't be too conservative. And remember, on a first down, inside of 2 minutes, the clock will stop as they spot the ball and reset the chains here. Stop momentarily, and the official will start it again. 1:22 on the clock. James up the middle. Looks to be enough. No, the official on the top of the screen says it's right at the line to gain. Thought he might have it, but looks as if James is about a half-yard short. So it's 3rd and 1 again.
3rd and 1, another short yardage situation. You said it earlier, Andrew. Dan Lanning talked to us this week. He started practice this week with those 4th and 1, 3rd and 1 situations. Let's see if this offense picked up some tips during the week.
James over 100 yards. He needs 1 more yard here, and he's got more than that. James at the 10. James tripped up inside the 10-yard line. Zion Washington got around the ankles. First down, Oregon.
It's a good run right there by Jordan James, straight through the middle, right up through the heart of this Boise State defense. And tackled by Zion Washington.
Jaden Virgin, Morgan, and Markel Reed cleaned it up there as Boise takes its 2nd timeout. 1 remaining, 43 seconds left. So at this point, if Oregon scores, Boise State is not going to have a lot of time left, nor the timeouts. Career long, 36 yards here for Atticus Sappington.
And so now if I'm Oregon, I'm slowing things down, probably running the football again. Hopefully you get into the end zone.
Remember, he missed the extra point earlier, hit it off the right upright. The Oregon State transfer could have given the Ducks the lead at this point.
Yeah, I'm sure that's in the back of his mind.
All right, here we go. From the 8, up the middle. Boise's going to probably burn the final timeout here, and they do. So a short gain. And the ball spotted now on the 7 after the gain of 1. 39 ticks left.
39 ticks left. This Boise State team fought hard all day. The defense is bent a little, didn't necessarily break. But let's see if they can attack the football when the ball is in the ball carrier's hands. Something to force some action here on this 3rd down.
There's no way you're taking a shot in the end zone here to stop the clock under the completion, right?
I wouldn't take a shot to the end zone if I'm Oregon. I would run it again and force Boise State to have to do something to try to stop the clock.
All right, let's see what they do. 2nd goal to Dan Lanning. Boise State has had a timeouts. 39 on the clock. The number 7 team of the nation has won 33 consecutive against non-conference opponents, but has never beaten Boise State. The run. James cuts it back inside and goes down near the 5. And now the clock runs. Oregon will stop it. And Rob, you're making a face with 30 seconds left to get Sappington out there. I would assume, and not rush as he's still on the sideline warming up. You like that?
I mean, look, you know this game is going to end in or come down to this field goal, but to me it's about keeping the least amount of time on the clock as possible. I probably would have waited till about 15 seconds or within 15 seconds. Again, leave yourself some time in case there's a snap that has some issues or whatever, but as less time as possible.
Yeah, like let it run.
Yes.
Let it run and then call timeout.
Yeah,
what am I missing?
Dan Lanning must see something or know something that we don't up here. But to me, you're leaving time on the clock for a possible whatever play that could happen from Boise State's offense.
Hold on, they're leaving Sappington on the sideline.
Getting to the middle of the field.
Yes, there we go. Gabriel takes the knee.
And now you let the clock go a little bit. So it's going to come down to the field goal. Should be a chip shot.
And they will blow it dead at 2 seconds remaining. Atticus Sappington, Oregon State transfer from Central Catholic in Portland, has a chance to give the Ducks the win.
And I'm sure Boise State is going to send all 11 defenders after this field goal. And so especially the edges of the protection group have to be alert. You can't extend to try to go get players because it opens up gaps inside. Let's see if Oregon can come away with the win.
The punter Luke Dunn is the holder here. This is a 25-yard field goal. Sappington for the win for number 7 Oregon to rally and beat Boise State. Here we go. Movement of the line. There's the flag. Kick is up. The kick is good. But wait on the flag. Looked as if Boise State jumped offside.
Offside in the neutral zone at the snap. Defense number 10. The penalties decline. The field goal is successful.
And Oregon survives. 37-34. Atticus Sappington, game-winning field goal. And Dan Lanning's Ducks fight and claw and win, beating Spencer Danielson's Boise State Broncos. What a game.
Great game by really both teams. Just Oregon had a little bit too much speed, a little bit too much opportunity. The special teams came through 2 return touchdowns. They got their football right this week.
Gotta feel good for that kid. Missed the extra point earlier. Give it another shot. Sappington nails the field goal. And you see the Oregon fans celebrating. Don't have the students in yet. Classes don't start for a couple of weeks, but this place was loud without him here. And there were moments all night where it looked as if this might get away. But Oregon survived, and they ran the longest winning streak against non-conference opponents, and up to 34. But we also have to ask here, look, Boise is good. All due respect to Boise, certainly. There is no but coming. I'll just say this. Should Oregon be the number 7 team in the nation? And should this game have been as difficult as it was?
That's a good question, Andrew. A really good question. I'm going to say yes, because they have won both games that were on their schedule. But let's just be honest about this. Dan Lanning and this coaching staff, they have some work to do, because there's a lot of transfers that came into this program, and these guys have to develop their chemistry. They have to develop their experience together.
Dan Lanning standing by with Laura Britt.
Coach, a hard-fought win tonight. What did you learn about your team in this close game?
They were resilient, right? They were resilient. We kicked ourselves in the foot a bunch today, and ultimately we had a team that went and got the W. A lot that we can learn from this game, but we have a resilient team.
This is the first ever win for Oregon over Boise State. What does that mean for this program?
It means a W. It means a W, and the next W is just as important. Next game is going to be our focus, right? We got a lot to learn from this game. It's another game.
How impressed were you with the explosive offense that you guys showed tonight?
Yeah, when we're in rhythm, we can be really special, right? When we're out of rhythm, we're not. So it's about us continuing to find moments for that.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Dan Lanning's team wins, survives 37-34, and a tip of the cap as well to Spencer Danielson, Ashton Jeanty, and the Boise State Broncos. They are real, and they took the fight to Dillon Gabriel and the Ducks. But Oregon is a winner tonight. Let's go back down to Laura with the Oregon quarterback.
Dillon, a big win, a close game. What did you learn about yourself tonight in this game?
Yeah, just learned a lot about this team. You know, adversity strikes, it's real. There's ups and downs within the game, and I just love how we responded. But most importantly, the defense playing their butt off, and then that final drive, you know, I think, you know, as a group, we needed that.
You faced a lot of pressure in the first half. How did you remain calm throughout this game?
Yeah, I've been playing ball for a little bit, so pressure's real, and it happens, but Boise's a damn good football team. You've seen it. That's why there's obviously a streak before this, but they played hard and played well, and we had to, you know, come back and make it happen. So I'm proud of our guys. Like I said, I'm proud of our defense. They played their butt off.
You spread the ball out again tonight as you did in week one. What does that say about your offense?
Yeah, I think we got a lot of playmakers, but we find, you know, creative ways to get them the ball, and of course you see what happens when the ball gets in their hands. So I'm proud of them, proud of everything they do.
Dillon, congratulations. Thanks.
Thank you.
Laura, thank you. Dillon Gabriel, thank you. Big win tonight for Oregon, and they needed all 60 minutes, but they get it. They win 37-34. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night for the premiere of Sunday Night Football. The Rams and the Lions in Detroit next week. Big Ten Saturday night heads west. UCLA, the Rose Bowl, hosting Indiana Bruins' first ever Big Ten Conference game. We had so much fun tonight. Hopefully you did as well. For Laura Britt, for Michael Robinson, for Reggie Smith, our entire crew, both here and back in Stanford, I'm Andrew Siciliano saying so long from Eugene. Thanks for watching Big Ten Saturday on Peacock, presented by Geico.